Hello， 所有现场观众朋友，大家好，欢迎来到我们 IeSF 的最后一天的赛程了。我是今天的主持人小熊。
Hello， 大家好，我是啾啾。
是的，啾啾，今天呢非常的重要，因为今天的各项目的冠军终于要出炉了。
哇，好期待哦！
是的，所以呢，现场的观众朋友呢，也可以稍微的预测一下哪一队会获得最后的冠军，也可以顺便帮你支持的队伍加油喽。那么呢，这边还是再次提醒大家一下，如果你是还没有吃午餐，或是你还是肚子有点饿的朋友呢，麦当劳呢非常贴心的推出了 IeSF 的现场欢乐送服务。
可是小熊，我记性不太好，我又忘记怎么订了。
太容易忘记了吧？非常的简单，只要拿出你的手机订餐呢，就可以在我们会场2楼的208号处入口，也就是我们大会服务台上方的摊位去做取餐。
哇，麦当劳订起来，订起来！那接着我们要进行的是什么比赛呢？
就是我们的 CSGO 啦。
好，那我们马上话不多说，马上把画面交给 CSGO 的专业直播台。
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. We are here for grand final day. I am Matic Monday. I'm joined by Matty B. Mate, we have an absolute jam-packed day. We've got a best of 5, Sweden up against Finland. It's been a massive 3 days.
It's been a huge 3 days, Robin. We've started off with 26 teams here in CSGO, an 8-team group stage. Battled it out. They slaughtered through these very long days. They're getting here at 9 a.m. in the morning, playing out into the awards later in the evening, and coming back the next day to fight through this very jam-packed schedule. And the fact that these two teams near reign on top is a huge testament to their skill and their mental fortitude.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw Friday 26 teams knocked down to 16 by Saturday morning. It's pretty cutthroat. You don't get too many opportunities to kind of claw your way back into the event, so it has been, cutthroat is the only way to put it, I think. And then from there, it was a single elim. We had the semi-finals this morning, and now we're here today. It has been a bit of a drawn-out process with for some of these teams, like you were saying, the 9 to 10 sometimes, but this is where it is. This is what it's come down to. Sweden taking on the boys from Finland.
And I mean, 2 very intense matches this morning. Finland and Romania. Finland pretty much ran over the top of the Romanian boys. Unfortunately, they didn't have much to show across those 2 maps there. On the other side, Sweden had a bit of a battle, though, with the Thai lanes.
Yeah, it was a little bit closer. So I think that kind of gives me a little bit of an unstable ground to stand on. Now, both of these teams, of course, playing the semi-final this morning. This is going to be a huge day for them as well. So not only have they backed it up on Friday and Saturday, they came in for the semi-finals this morning, and then they've got to play a best of 5 grand final. We are, at the very least, we're seeing both of these teams play 5 maps today.
Exactly, and I think it's a huge mental battle. It's a battle of stamina, endurance, and discipline as well. With the more maps you play during a day, you start to see a few mistakes seep through, especially in some of those lower tier teams that haven't quite solidified their structures and sort of their instances on what to do in X scenario. And I think we're going to see that possibly with the Swedish side as well. We've seen them a couple of games where we feel like they should have come on top quite easily. They've struggled a little bit across until they finally hit their stride right towards the end, but they're not going to get that leeway versus the Finnish side.
No, definitely not. Any mistake that they make, you have to feel as though the Finnish team will just be able to capitalise on it pretty much instantly. There'll be no room to move. Anything that they kind of misstep with, it will be punished. Now, speaking about the Swedish team, obviously we know that they had a bit of a rough result yesterday in the round of 16 and the quarterfinals, so they've had a bit of a tougher time getting to this stage. But the Japan and Australia game, I am a little bit concerned for Sweden at the moment.
I would be as well. Looking at the back of those ones, I mean, the Japan one, you feel like they should have taken quite convincingly, right? There's a full series, a full 3 maps, very close. Same with Australia. The first 2, actually, both best 3s are pretty much identical, right? The first 2 maps, very close. Could have gone either way, and then the last map was just a stomp in favour of Sweden. Coming up against the Finnish side, though, their map pool's much deeper than all these teams they've played against right now. They've got 1 permaban, whereas if you look at the pool the Swedish side have got, it's very shallow, right? They've got a few maps that they haven't played in the last 3 months, and that really just puts in my mindset that Finland could potentially just really wipe them out here.
Yeah, that's a major concern. I mean, just talking on those maps, it's 3 maps that we're more than likely to see today. Dust 2, Nuke, and Train, with Mirage being... we have not seen good results from them on Mirage. So it's not a telling tale in a best of 5. It's kind of a little bit concerning. Just going on what we've seen yesterday and today, if they come into it with the same mindset, you just have to feel as though the Finnish boys are kind of going to sweep them.
Exactly right. You know, they're a lot more disciplined. They've got the full structure. Their coach is here with them as well, providing a lot of support out of the matches at the moment. And I feel like, based on the results, especially with Mirage, as you spoke about before, they've struggled on it across the event, but they can't afford to ban it in the pool early on. Like, they don't play Nuke at all, right? They don't play Dust 2 at all. So, I mean, and they struggle on train. So there's 3 maps right there that Havu love to play, right? And they'll get away with those ones there. You know, they don't play Inferno. That's Sweden's best map. So that's instantly going to get permaban, right? So you're going to see Nuke and Inferno taken out of the pool here. And the order of those 5 maps, it's going to be crucial how Sweden play it out.
Yeah, I know that we were talking before we just started the broadcast about possibly what we could see heading into the vetoes. Do you have did you come to a conclusion on what you think?
So, I mean, it depends on who gets first ban, right? Like either side. But I mean, honestly, first pick for each side, I do believe that Sweden's going to pick up Cash for the first map that they want to play. And it'll be Train picked up there for the Finn side, because they're their 2 best maps, right? Yep. So Cash has been pretty staple in the Swedish, just in their back pocket, across the course of this event. They've looked pretty good on it, especially against Australia yesterday, when they started to try together some consistent rounds together, especially on their CT side. They look a lot better. So that's something to look forward to for them. But I mean, once they hit Train, that's going to be a difficult one, because then coming into the back end of the pool, we've still got Dust, Overpass, and Mirage left. They don't play Dust. They don't do too well on Overpass, right? So that's where the big question mark comes over the Swedish side.
So let's just talk about what, I mean, we've only been able to really kind of analyse the Swedish side. We haven't seen too much of the Finnish side, because every time the Finnish side are playing, we've been watching a different game, right? Yeah. So, and we kind of came into this expecting that they would be making the grand final. That was kind of set in stone. So we watched the Swedes' path, rather. What do you think that they can do? Is there anything that they can kind of change up coming into this? Because we saw yesterday they were very rigid on Mirage, and it was a similar storyline for Kaohsiung, and they were nearly punished for it. But then they headed into Inferno. It just completely changed.
Well, that's the sort of Sweden you want to see across the entirety of this best of 5, right? I mean, they were playing scared on Mirage. It was a very, very passive setup, something that you don't see on Mirage too much nowadays as well. Lots of aggressive CT crunches in towards middle and all that type of thing. But over towards the A site, which is where these trains were hitting quite consistently, right? So many executes, and they were playing retake setups, just trying to pick up a few cheeky frags through smokes. But the Aussie boys were too sharp. And they were too sharp in tracing them back through the smokes and taking a few scalps.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like for Sweden to push on through here, maybe we have to see a little bit more loosey-goosey. Maybe. I don't really want to push that too much, but it'll be interesting to see that.
I think it's going to be that aggression sort of play. We saw on Inferno. They were taking lots of control of the map on the CT side. There was one round where they nade stacked down towards bottom middle right, and they just all pushed in towards T-stairs. 4 players were there. They just overwhelmed the Australians in a dominant fashion. So that sort of play style can be really beneficial on maps, like Cash, like Dust 2. Those ones where you can sort of plug it out a little bit more as well. And if you're a sharper aimer, which honestly Harvey have looked good so far this tournament, that's what we could be expecting. Yeah,
so that's kind of the story that we are starting to paint here is, Havu are coming into this looking the goods. By the way, if you're not 100% sure, Havu are the Finnish side, so that's why we're painting Sweden to be the lesser team in this. So let's have a look at some of the players, right? We saw yesterday in the quarterfinal, especially when Sweden didn't have Benji on that AWP, it was really dangerous for them, right? It almost didn't seem like a complete picture. Oh, yeah. Well, hang on a second, my friend. Let's stop this, because we are into the important parts of the match.
Right, well, I've been proven wrong here by the Swedes. So, interesting look at the big bans here, right? Inferno and Nuke are the perma bans, right? But it's banned by Finland. Inferno is banned by Sweden, right? That's just blown my mind. It's back to front, I honestly have to feel like. Cash picked up and Dust 2 for our first 2 maps there. So Dust will be our starting point. Onto Cash, then Train, then Mirage, and Overpass to wrap us up here. This is actually the best case scenario for Sweden here.
Do you think that it's even possible for us to get to a 5th?
With the order the maps that come in, yes. I think with Dust 2, they can sort of be aggressive like we saw in Inferno, right, and take those sort of engagements and really start to put pressure on the Finnish side. So that's going to play into their favour. If they play that sort of play style over towards Cash there, they can certainly get off to a great start. It's that back 3 there that I have a lot of concerns for, though. The Train, Mirage, and Overpass, they've struggled with Mirage. So if we get to a point where it's a 2-1 sort of series and we see Mirage, then I think you could say lights out.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a sharp start for the Swedish side. And we'll just quickly touch back on, because I really want to make this point. I want to dive in here. The AWP seems to be a big part for the Swedes. They seem to open up a lot of rounds when they do get Benji on the back of that. Do you think that there is any way for them to get around that? do you think that there's like a a bypass for the Swedes?
For the Swedes, I think the big thing there is it goes with that aggressive play, because when they were getting aggressive, they were backed up with the AWPing of Benji. So it's about them creating space for him to do his job there as the AWPer, and that's going to be the deciding factor for them, right? I think the huge thing, a part of that, right, is the fact that when they're playing aggressive, they're playing confident, they're hitting their shots, and Benji's thriving off that so far this event.
And it just seems to be like the Swedes kind of, they when they get the momentum right, they're good to go. It actually looks like we might be ready to jump on in. So, Matty B, before we get into this, give me a quick prediction.
3-0 Finland.
3-0 Finland. We are not even going to give the Swedes a chance. I'm going to go ahead and say they might be able to pick up one map. Actually seems like I was debated there. Not going to get into it just yet, but I feel as though we could possibly see 3-1. I want to give the Swedes some sort of respect jumping on into this. They could do some damage on the Dust 2, or the fact that the Kaohsiung was picked by the Finland. Sorry, I'm just stumbling over my words there. I don't think that that's too promising, even though that was Swedes' pick. Again, like you said, it's the greatest thing that we could possibly expect. Looks as though
just a little issue at the moment.
A little bit too loud, I think, maybe the over the speakers, but that's okay. That's generally what happens. So a deep map pool for the Finnish side, a bit of a shallow look for Sweden. We haven't seen them play on Dust 2, Nuke, or Train. We have seen them play on Mirage, but it hasn't been the best of results. So it looks like Finland are coming into this the goods. They do seem the stronger team. I mean, we've seen them play in and out of these events. So far, they have only dropped 24 rounds in 6 maps. There was a close match against Serbia. Both of their maps in that best of 3 went to 16-13 and then 17-19. So it was a closer push from Serbia. But apart from that, the Finnish have absolutely gone lights out against every other team.
Yeah, exactly right. They're just a class above right now. A team that's played together professionally towards the top end for a good amount of time at the moment. I feel like that's the sort of confidence and swagger they're taking into this one. They're feeling like this is an event that this is theirs to take, right? They've come all the way here to Kaohsiung, and they're looking the goods, right? And they're on the stage now playing in this best of 5 grand final. We're going to get started on Dust 2 very shortly. I think the big thing for Dust 2, right, is cliche, taking the pistol for Sweden and then using those gun rounds and getting very aggressive on their CT side. I think that's... The Swedes don't have a choice but to come out all guns blazing. Oh, for sure.
There's no easy way to put it. We can't give them enough love and hope, but if they don't perform at the correct point in time, that's going to look a little bit harsher. So to start off with, the Swedes are going to be on the T side. Maybe a bit of an explosive play out towards long, getting some control. It'll just be Zadish who sends himself out there. You've got Zen just towards the lower side of middle on Xbox. He has the support of Slowy as well. Both of these players have been quite big for the Finnish side so far in this series. In this event. And that's going to be the opening pick of the best of 5. Slowy finds a second as well, but there's a small little encounter towards the top of a long. Again, Zen, they're just going to go ahead and go aggressive here. They're not going to be really giving them any shot. Oh, wow. Hello, Zerd. Zerd's picked up a third. That is absolutely massive. Zajis has made it. How is this falling apart for the Finnish side? It's now Tixi. He knows where they are, but what can he do? Oh, this could be massive right now. Imagine this to start out the best of 5 in the grand final. He's been spotted, needs to tap away. 2 players tapping the head of Zer. He's got one more to find. Sajdish, who came for the support, he's now got everything to do. Twixie sees him, and he'll back away for now. But my goodness, what an explosive start to map 1.
Oh my goodness, Rob. We just saw trading back and forth. It looked like Finland had just been swarming all over Sweden there. Zadjis is caught out there in towards CT. He's going to wait for his man now. Twixie has the HP advantage, no armor though on both players as there's no buy, and Zadjis is deleted in that one. And a save there from Finland. It looked pretty shaky at one point. I just want to touch on the fact that Zadjis didn't buy a thing going into that round. Something I've noticed a few top tier teams doing, especially on Dust 2. I think it's more so about getting up the AWP as soon as possible.
Yeah, they need to, especially with the oh no, someone's just sitting at spawn. Slowy can't hit him either. That sucks. I'm not sure what just happened there. That was a little bit weird. Maybe a small little problem trying to fix the menu, but fortunately enough, it doesn't lead to too much. So hold your horses. Just the pistols for the Swedes. Now this is Matty B. Do you want to talk about the force buys yesterday?
The force buys from Sweden were ridiculous there. They just kept buying into the pistols and the armor round after round after round. This is one of those few instances where they haven't really invested too much. A Deagle and a PG-50 is all there. Zen's going to get very aggressive in towards middle here. A lot of damage getting done there. He picks up 3 there with Slowy chiming in there, and the tap down range from Zen. He picks up 4 with the MP9, so big bank built up there for the Finnish side. Now we'll have the AKs coming in for Sweden with those full saves coming in. Zad just does have the opportunity to pick up the AWP. He does as well, and he can pass it over towards Benji if he feels so inclined to do so. But there's no head armor here for Zadgis. He's going to hold on to it for himself as well. And the buy from Finland, this is a bit of a bonus round for them now.
Work off the back of this, hopefully, with the Finnish side not forcing into this. They're just going to keep the bonus, like you said. It's an opportunity for both sides to kind of get small amount of momentum gain. If the Swedes can take this round and keep a couple alive, I think they'll be generally happy with that. But the way that the Finns have started, it'll be interesting to see what Sweden can throw at them. For now, Zadgdish will go across towards long, trying to find the peak. The back of sight, that's going to be the aggression that you were looking for from the Swedes, shown by the CT side to start things out.
Yeah, I mean, the Finnish side, they've really taken control of this one nice and early there. They're setting the pace up for the Swedes, and it's forced a slower turn of events there as the Flash used to get the man off the bomb site. Then Benji's pushed forward there. Twixie falls, but a good thing of damage done. And these SMGs in a prime position now to do a bit of damage as the pop flash comes in towards short. Hugo comes through the smoke, but Zori wins that engagement. He's still alive, and he's recovered the AK-47 as well. He's going to fall back in towards the A bomb site. Players now scattered across this A portion of the map as Zer trades one back. 3v3 now. Weapons in favour of the Swedish side. Has a little bit of damage done onto Slowy. He'll be receding himself back over towards that B site now.
Yeah, Zer just taking his time. It's worst case scenario right now for the Swedes, especially if one of the players from the CT side can pick up that AK on short. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Zer's locked that down. He's going to go ahead. He don't think he realizes that the players on the other side won't make a difference. He only manages to find a small tag. It's now Saw to try and hold the cross. Not going to happen. The last player to remain. Oh, he's found himself in an okay position to do some damage to Zer. He's still going to hit the shot. Rightio, deleting him with the scout. The flash goes over the top. He'll readjust. There is every opportunity to make this happen. He now readjusts towards lowers, and he might just find the kill onto Benji. Don't you dare. It's now Zadgdish, the only to remain. He has to pull this back in a 1v1. Slowy, he's looking for the 3K right now, making his way up towards ramp. Oh my word, that was nearly too filthy. Too close to call. Zadgdish pushes away towards Ninja. Slowy knows exactly where he is. He's got the kit as well to play with. It's literally, does he fire off through the box? It's too good. He's too good. Slowy, he pulls out the 1v3, makes it look as simple as that. And my word, they are not giving the Swedes not even a millimeter to breathe right now, Matty.
1 step forward, 3 steps backwards as the Finnish side. They were on the bonus round, right? The SMGs and the scouts still up. They had a FAMAS in hand, and at the death there, Slowy staying alive over towards that ramp and coming in from the back, and he hits a ripper of a shot onto the man still aggressive over towards Catwalk and wins the 1v3. And that is the exact start that Finland want here. And they're still aggressing across the map here. They're doing a lot of damage. They're keeping control of the whole period of middle as well. So Hugo's just trying to clear through here. But look at this spray from Saw. Good damage done there. And a minute and a half into the round, and control over this mid portion of the map is with Finland.
Yeah, Hugo, he was just playing, waiting for someone to maybe push. That's not going to be, and that was the smoke coming in from Saw. Backs away towards ramp, giving himself just a little bit more cover. Doesn't need to push, but look at this from Zori on the other side of the map. He's gone aggressive towards B. He might find that kill, and that will completely halt the Swedes' control on any portion of the map. They've only got short at the moment. That's going to be the free kill. Hugo can't get anything done. He does a small amount of damage to... No, it wasn't even to Zori. So Zori's found that kill for free, backs away towards the deep side of B. Now they're going to try and hit short, but they're all pretty much clustered up. It's a free kill for Saw. Still no damage being done to the CT side. They're just finding the kills. Benji eventually deletes one. There we go. Now they're starting to gain a little bit more momentum. A free kill coming through with a bit of an overpeak. That's going to be Zadgdish deleting Twixie, and that's exactly what the T side need to be able to do. They need to start finding the kills in numbers.
Yeah, they were moving forward as a unit there, trading effectively over towards Catwalk. That leads them to 2v3. Zori's going to come in through the long flank, and there's no one really posted up here for Sweden, and Slowy has a very intense portion here, trying to come through the smoke here over towards Benji on Catwalk, and the timing, look at that one. They've just passed each other. Benji does pick up Slowy, and now Zori, the last one left alive, as Rusty will clean that one up. And Sweden will finally get on the board there with a bit of a force buy.
Yeah, looking nice and clean from that round. A little bit better. I actually was expecting the Finns after taking that first kill to completely demolish them. But look at this, the economy in check. Well done from Swedes to make sure that they that even though the rounds have been, you know, won by the Finnish side, they've still kept it close. They've still kept the economy honest. The flash will now come out. Benji might just burn in that flame for a second. No, they're going to go ahead and straight through the flames. 2 to find on site with 1 sitting towards CT. Look at this player aggressive on short as well. They can put all of their eggs in the basket. They're just going to do that as well with CT side. They're all across towards A. This does not look too promising for the Swedes. They have to start pushing in. They're using so much utility and it's all just burning down for nothing. They're now going to have to try and hold and they're just falling one by one. They can't get anything done. The flashes are coming over the top. Saw and Slowy both finding one, but Hugo and Zer, they're fast on the response. Look at this just coming through. Literally just waiting for the gaps in the smoke. Benji falls down. Zer is the last to remain towards Car. At least he finds one trade, but boy, does he have it ahead of him. A 1v2, Matty.
1v2 damage done, though. Look at this. He's 2 HP now in this clutch situation. 1 round on the board for the Swedes, and a great comeback there from Finland to get aggressive, take those fights, running into the stacked bomb site, and now Zer has to try and safely cross back over here, but there's a man. I think he's just been spotted jiggling his way back over towards B. But look at this position adjustment now. Zorre, he's posted himself over towards Car. He can get aggressive and hold down that long position. He also has that angle over towards Catwalk as well, as Zer just going to creep up towards this middle Catwalk area as it's slowed right down for him. He has 2 flashes and an HE grenade. Just look at this adjustment again. Zorre moving back over towards the bomb site. Timing is the issue now. As Zorre, he's just jiggling around the site. Molotov comes out, perfect timing there. He forces the man up the stairs there. In the 4th round for the Finnish side, and another force buy. We're in a back and forth chain now.
Yeah, nicely done from the Finns. That was an excellent call to just stack all the players over. They had control of site, they had control of short, and why not, right? Like, why not take the gamble on a forced buy? The Swedes burn their utility and they don't progress with it, and that's the concern there, right?
That was a bit of a missed opportunity there from Benji. 3 guys crossing at the same time. I feel like one of those scenarios where, you know, you get too many targets for yourself, and just slower play now from the Swedes as they're going to begin taking a bit of control over towards tunnels for what seems like the first time so far this map. They've gone very heavily over towards this catwalk and short area of the map, which I feel like it's quite beneficial towards the T side. It allows them to get a lot of control of the map very quickly as it's so wide and harder to hold now. It's easier to take, but look at this aggression from Slowy. He's already pushed all the way up long, and that's allowed them to just, they've given up total control of middle, right? They're going to allow players to split in towards either bomb site if they choose to do so. But there's 2 players in towards this B site, so they're going to be able to lock down anything that they try to hit with. But it's the A side that looks like where the hit's going to come through. They're going to take some more control over towards Catwalk now. A minute on the clock, and they still have a few smokes to play with, Rob.
Yeah, plenty of time, plenty of utility, plenty of space to move as well. It seems like short is kind of where the Swedes are falling back to quite often. That just seems to be their default. Take short control, and then from there, because they've got middle as well, they can kind of adapt. And it looks like maybe a bit of a mid to B. They've just got 2 players putting the feelers out, 1 towards tunnel, 1 towards short. So they're just holding their horses for now. The smoke will come over, and okay, that's not good. That is a massive miss smoke, and that will alert the Finns as to what's going on. That second smoke will go down, but now, how can the Finns hold? 2 players on site. They've got to make sure it works. It's going to be a massive hold from the Finns. They find 3 players pushing in. Rusty as well will find the response, but they're both so low. What a hold coming through on that B bomb site. There's nothing to be done, and shutting it down. The Finns look so strong.
That was such a great read from the Finnish side. They gave up total mid control. They played in towards the bomb site, and they were ready for that mid to B split, and that missed smoke just gave away everything entirely. I just want to really quickly touch on Slowy came charging through long, down towards middle, in towards those lower tunnels area to stop any chance of a split as well. What a read from the Finns as they pick up their 5th round, and an outstanding start here on their CT side of Dust 2.
This is not a telling tale for Swedes at the moment. We can't stress that enough. Finns have looked so strong throughout the entire tournament. Boy, are they showing it right now. Zori might just fall here to the blocks. How is he not dead? How many dings have required through a wall with a Glock? Well, I can tell you, too many. Twixie's already taken down Rusty, and look at the HP on the Swedes as well. It's just not looking good. The armor's not there. It's just a pistol round. Just throw it away, take some time, execute when you're ready, and that's still damage being done. 3 players completely. They're literally like a marshmallow right now. Oh, that's cheeky. I don't mind that.
coming over the top of that one there. Hugo doesn't even have a gun anymore. He's just got the knife at the moment. He's chilling in towards middle there, but the cleanup again from Finland as players all staying alive for themselves. A 6-1 start. This is what the Sweden wanted to get off to, right? They need to get the ball rolling nice and early.
Yeah, we definitely needed to see, you know, kind of the
swagger they played with on Inferno yesterday versus Australia.
But that I don't think that's going to be able to be replicated here.
It's not looking so at the moment, but the CT sides were where they were really stronger on yesterday, so there's still plenty of time, but they haven't really changed too much. It's been constant cat hits over towards A, but an early flashbang in towards this mid to B split. No smoke's coming. They're going to hit it dry. Zer's going to go charging over towards the B side. I think Zen's heard this one out. No, players aren't quite ready, but somehow Zori wins that first engagement. The swing comes in, and Zadges, he's lurking in towards CT here, but Slowy cautious of the gap in the smoke there as it's all slowed right down for Sweden once again as they don't have control of any of these portions of the map.
Yeah, they're going to have to take it a little bit easier, just for now. Already spotting one out. Zen, that should be a free kill, which it is. And the Swedes were going dry as a bone into the B bomb site. It would have been big if they'd found that opening kill, but unfortunately, it does not sway in their favor, nor to have the previous rounds.
What's crazy is the fact that Zori wasn't even ready for that fight, right? He was just looking towards tunnels. I think a late call at the sound heard. And look at this forward positioning here again. It is Twixie, and he'll win that duel. He spotted out Rusty initially there, and they're holding down these angles absolutely pristinely as Hugo will fall in succession. 2 kills there for slowing the AWP and the 7-1 start. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
This is the concern. Slowy on the AWP, he's an absolute animal. He's been showing it this whole event, and now it's literally just, it's coming to light if it was already in the darkness, you know, like there's no other way to put it. And unfortunately, the Swedes, they don't have anything to combat it with, and that's going to be, again, a tag from Slowy. Look at the confidence that the Finns have right now. They're literally just going to be peeking dry, looking for the frags. It's Slowy who's on the AWP. He's picked up a second, maybe a third. Benji, however, he'll fall to Zen as he was holding them just the area in middle. Oh, wow, I thought that hit then. Did not. But 2 players left. The Swedes haven't been able to do anything. Literally, it's like they're running into a brick wall.
It really, but repeatedly running into that brick wall, right? And they're slamming their head into it on purpose, like banging and banging and banging. It's not the smartest thing to do, but they keep doing it at the moment. They just, I want to see a little bit of an adjustment, right? They tried it a couple rounds ago with that mid to blue split. They went quite fast over towards B. They hit it dry as well. No smokes in towards CT there. It's just a lost duel, right? I think Finland just outclassing the Swedes right now.
Well, it's the only way to put it.
Just a little bit of extra finesse.
Yeah, it's just outclassing. Bit of finesse, which the Swedes have been focusing on heavily. I would like to see that change a little bit, but there's plenty of time left in this map. We can't jump the gun too quick.
Well, it's a very long set, right? It's a best of 5 series. There's going to be aggression in towards middle again. Zore gets 2 for himself. Not quite the third, but plenty of damage done there onto Zadgis and the rest of the side as well. Benji trying to hold the angle there. The flash comes across though. And still aggression coming in. Sword does drop down Zadgis there. Rusty playing close though. He's going to punish Zen. Now though, 1v3 is Twixie re-aggressing. Does take down Benji from the back.
Now, right. Oh, okay. That's a nice shot. But look at it. Oh, Rusty, hello. Flicks out onto the other player, but Slowy, he has been the player for the Finnish side time and time again. And
settle down, Ron. Settle down, mate. He's not winning that one.
What? That's a 1v1, Matty.
No.
What are you talking about?
Slowy comes across. He wins those every day.
Mate, that's a 1v1 down from a 1v3. I am never calming down on that. That was a filthy play coming through. A tag through the wall in middle as well. Zen now has to play from half HP.
That's a better start right there. A little bit of early damage done to the Finnish side. And they're forced to play not as aggressively over towards this A side as even Zerpick gets a pick over towards B. This has caused an adjustment now as look at this. Saw just peering through the smoke here. Is this another one of those 4 spy rounds that Sweden could get away with here?
Still just waiting. Saw pushes through. Straight into the angle with Hugo. They're now starting to read it just a little bit better. Flash comes over the top. They can now start to push on through, making sure that pit's clear. Check your angles. You're a game up. The Finns are split 1-1-1, but they actually go to put a bit more of their attention towards middle, and they will be punished for it. Twixie pushes through. Zer will be taken down from short. And now Zadgis looks to try and respond, and that's a free kill for... Rightio.
Someone got it.
Misses that shot, but that's all right. The tailing tail is not just there yet. Zen pushing in from short. A 1 versus 4. You don't favour him too much, especially with Zaj Dish holding down the line. A second round on the board for the Swedes and a force buy. Yeah. Just CSGO is good, isn't it?
Great stuff from the Swedes, though. I mean, the early damage there, the push off it, and Zer just blind aggression over towards B. Caught the Finns off guard, and that's an adjustment they needed there as Zad just gets the opener right there, straight across there on Zore. That is a fantastic start there now for the Swedes. They have an early numbers advantage, but no, they're going to re-aggress. Zen's going to punish them for that now. Double up set up, spots at the man coming in towards B there. Zer trying to come into this one. He's going to get the damage done, though Zen falls. 2 players now on the rotation towards that mid-ramp area, but there's no bomb here as of yet. Finland just getting a little bit too aggressive. The bomb hasn't even gotten in towards the site yet, but Slowey, he's already pushed through the door. He's got the AWP hiding in the smoke. Flash coming in again. He's just hiding around the edge. He does catch out Zer, though. The damage getting done. As Hugo comes back in with that one, it's now just Twixie in a 1v3.
He's just going to be taking his time coming in from mid, making sure there's no flankers. Trying to play this one out. Looks as though the save will be called. Going for a couple of exits. No, he's just going to go and hide himself in towards bedroom.
Well, their money's broken.
It's looking a lot better for the Swedes at the moment. Starting to gain a small amount of momentum, but there's still a lot more work for them to do. They need to shut out this half 9-6. They realistically can't allow the Finns to take any more rounds. Otherwise, it's just going to become even harder. But like you said earlier, their CT side's looking a lot better.
Yeah, there's plenty of hope for them if they get that 9-6 scoreline right. But I think the way that Finland played their CT side could give us a little bit of a tell of how aggressive they can be on their T side as in the same scenario. So I feel like this is more beneficial for Sweden now. Coming into the next half, though, I don't think you can just give them a clear goal yet.
Not yet. Don't want to jump the gun. We just want to wait and see. Wait and see what the result's going to be. Benji just going to hold the line down from B, and that will give the information. You're probably going to see Rusty go for an aggressive peek here, which he will. The flash will come out, and that's going to hold... Well, I was going to say it's going to hold Zori at bay, but nope. He re-peeks with the Molotov being put down and finds the perfect timing. Zer, however, he finds the trade towards middle, so it's looking a little bit better. Finish now with the mid-aggression. They've got no control of long, and they're happy to allow that. They're happy to go for that retake. And we've still even seen... We've seen the Finns retake 2 or 3 times at this point. So you don't count them out just yet.
They're more than willing to do that as well. But look at this 4v4. Players now gripping up over towards the A side of the map. Going to be a little bit of a split. And again, Zadges, he's playing around this catwalk area, and he could catch out these players as the creep comes in from CT now. Good timing on the pop flash there. Coming across, though, will be Slowey. He'll get the opener there for the Finns. And now re-aggression from Hugo. Catches one in from the back. A lot of damage done, but Saw chiming with his teammates. And Zadges pushing forward now with Benji. The double op setup will be trying to get towards the side of Saw. Was the lone man there, and that leaves Zori now 1v2, but damage is done to Benji.
Yeah, the AK, though, you still favour him. There's 2 ops to try and hold the line. He finds the first, and now it's all on the Zaj Dish. What can he do? He goes for the aggressive peek. He's missed the shot, and Zori, he's got the opportunity now to win this out in a 1v1. Oh, my word. 2 missed shots coming in from Zaj Dish. It is the advantage of having the AK. You can push a little bit more aggressive, but my word. Oh, that BM.
You hate to see it.
You really do.
Toxic there from the Finns, but clutch move there, picking that one up and saving the AWP as well. And their money was not in a very strong position either. Look at this, 3 MP9s and damage done to the lone rifler over towards B. So again, Benji, he's starting to have a little bit more of an impact on that AWP as we touched on earlier.
That's exactly what we needed to see, though. He's really been the man for Sweden so far in this event. Finding a lot of the openings. Finding a lot of the big rounds that are needed. Nevertheless, it's a bit more aggression towards A. I'm going to leave it uncontested this time. Not this time.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. I mean, starting to push forward over towards catwalk here. There's still players over towards the site. One drops down, back in towards the ramp position. Molotov will be deployed in towards the bomb site. Zadges will be taking that first engagement now. Flashes and smokes coming in as the hit comes.
Slowey opens up the bank account. Benji will find one. Twixie catches out the push from long. The bomb will go down for short, however. Plenty of time for Finns to pull this one back, but they are quite split up at the moment. 2 towards long, 1 on short. Zori's going to have to try and pull this in, but Zajdish already holding the line. That'll be the free kill now. Slowy, he's been called upon quite often here for the Finns. Can he do it again? The flash is nice coming through from short. They back away. They're happy for that bomb to be blown. They might just pull back towards T-Spawn. Make sure that they save that AWP and the AK for the last round. Try and shut it down 11-4. But at the moment, the Swedes, they just give themselves a little bit more room to move when they head to the CT side.
Yeah, 4th round on the board now for the Swedes, and 1 more round and a half as Finland don't have the money in the bank, so they will be saving these rifles up. They should be able to force by somewhat decently. A FAMAS can be dropped over from Slowy. A few SMGs can be brought up, even the CZ 5.7. So they'll have a somewhat okay buy. Coming up against what the Swedish have, though, good potential now to get that 10-5 score. And not that 9-6 that we were really looking for, but better than what they were looking like earlier on.
Much better. Much better. We were hoping for the 9-6, giving them a little bit more room to kind of bring it back, but with the way that the Finns have played, you definitely feel as though they deserve to be here at this point with this lead. 6 rounds at the moment. Swedes are looking to make sure that they can only keep it at 5. 3 players towards short. The aggression that these Finns have shown on the CT side, it's so promising. Look at Zori right now. He's gone aggressive towards tunnels. He will be punished. Benji's holding the line down. And now they're just going to pour onto the site.
Yeah, Slowy's here, ready. He's posted up over there for it. Gets the first one there. Swings for the second, but no. Zer's ready with a nice headshot running in towards the B site. 3 players having to rotate in through middle, but there's a player waiting here that's going to get punished, though. Finally, a couple of kills going back and forth. Zen and Saw get ones for themselves, and Zen the last man alive now. 1v2. Zera and Hugo in towards the site. There's Molotovs are deployed by both sides.
He's got a flash to work with, but that's all. Surely a kid on site. First one goes over the top, the second as well to supplement the push, but Zer, he now knows where he is. It's going to have to be quite the performance not to be. The flicks were not there, and Zer, he'll shut it down. 10-5, only 5 rounds in it. And you actually have to feel somewhat happy with that if you're Sweden. The way that it was starting to look.
It was a 9-1 start.
It honest to God looked like the finish were just going to dominate there. End up with, like a 13-2 kind of half.
It was looking pretty scary if you were a Swedish fan, but I mean, they sort of just settled down a little bit, started to get the numbers up, and they were winning some of those opening engagements. I mean, Benji was hugely dynamic with the AWP going in towards middle, getting those opening picks constantly. So now it'll be interesting to see how they play off the back of that. It looks like Finland are going to go hard for that B rush. And a couple of players will be here for Sweden. They have a Molotov and 2 flashes for the Finnish lineup. 2 flashes in the hands of Sweden.
2-2-1 setup as well. Looking for the crossfire there, Sweden on B. So it does readjust, though, a little bit. Probably just going to wait to see if they can swing onto a player, but they now realign towards middle. The 2 at the bottom of CT. This is going to have to be the big play for the Swedes to start off in the second pistol round. They are forced back off the angle, and that will allow Rusty to start moving back onto A ramp, giving his teammate just a small amount of support. Zajdish. He's on the A site all alone. He has to anchor this in a huge way. The flash will come on over. He goes completely blind for a second. Rusty can't get anything done either. Still tapping away with the P2000. Not going to happen. Rusty gets caught out in the open, and that's not going to be the kill that they're looking for. Benji, in the meantime, wins the fight over towards short, but the Molotov is going to keep them at bay for now. The bomb will go down, and there's so many players left on this Finnish side.
4v3 now. Benji going to look to take this first engagement, pushing up through this catwalk position. No one's really peeking, though, for the Finns. They're playing this very passively. They even have a player in towards pit as they're going to try and split up through catwalk here. Initial duels. One, though, Zo gets 2, then a couple of nice headshots, but Zori on the side, he gets 2 more for himself now. 1v2. Hugo at range, struggling a bit as you come in from above. Massive 3K in the site, and time again, they've called on these players, Zori and Slowy, and they just really put the job in.
Looked like Zer was actually going to open up that site completely. But it's just not to be. A little bit harsh, but that's all right. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. The Finns are going to buy up into this with AKs and MAC-10s, and Slowy hits a shot on the cross. That is not a way to start for the Swedes. They'll pick up the double scout setup, however. It is recovered. It's not all bad news for now. Rusty will be called out towards short, trying to find himself some aggression. Backs away, though, keeping his life. Saw was on He's hot on the heels trying to find him. The smoke goes a little bit too deep, so Saw has enough room to move himself around it, maneuver on towards short, take a little bit more control. At the moment, a 1-2-1 split for Sweden, with all of the heavy emphasis with those scouts towards middle.
Yeah, they keep trying to take this fight as well, looking to pick off the player over towards Xbox. Smoke comes in towards the door. Pre-fire coming up, and they're going to jump in towards Catwalk. They spot the man up playing close, and damage not quite connecting from both sides. 5-on-3, there's still a man in towards CT as well. That's Hugo as he's going to begin pushing forward there. Flashbang comes in. He's going to get spotted out there by Saw on the Mac-10. Twixie cleans that one up. So now 2 players left alive for the Swedes. They both have scouts, and there's 2 players who are quite low for this finish lineup. So damage could be done.
Benji was looking to find himself a kill. That might actually pull Zen out of position towards the middle. Oh, that's a nice shot from Zadish. Don't know how he hits that, and that will allow Zen to take all the attention away. Just barely catching the nade. The smoke will come out. He might go ahead and push through that, actually. Molotov comes through. They're doing some damage with the scouts. 2 players low. But if they push in together, it'll be too much for the Swedes to handle, or so you would have to say. It's going to be the MP. The MP, it's going to be the Mac-10 rather. Oh, does he see the head? Yep, free kill. And surely the second as well. Zen reads it perfectly. His teammate let him know that there was nothing towards the back of sight, nor on sight. There's only one place left for them to hide, but my, oh my, it's not looking the greatest.
Not for the Swedes. For the finish, you'd be pretty pumped, you know, going forward in the first map of a best-of-5 series, and they're up 12-5. Huge depth to come back from, and it's going to be a stack here over towards the A side of the map, as Zen's going to go charging over towards Catwalk now. Just going to look to create some space for his side, as is Slowy. They're going to look to try and farm up the money here, build up some bank with just a Deagle and 2 flashes for Sport with a P250 for Zadish and Rusty. It's not the most investment, but just a little bit.
Just enough. Enough to inflict some damage. Zen might lose his life here, you'd have to say, with 4 players watching the line. Gets away, in fact, scot-free. Gets away with quite literal murder. Benji takes a fair whopping gack to the head. Meantime, clearing out towards middle. It's Slowy, and that'll allow Zen to come on in. The Mac-10s get the kills. Zen picks up a 3K, and that is some cash money for days. The Swedes, they just keep digging this hole a little bit deeper and deeper. And surely enough, the Finns are just going to brush the dirt over the top of them. Bury them alive if they need to. Benji and Zadish on the AWPs. Only sending 1 across towards B.
Yeah, new adjustment for the Swedes going to that double up setup. They're going to take a lot of aggressive long control here. 3 players to start off with. The smokes will be deployed in towards that long bedroom, but there's no one there for the Finns. And in fact, look at this. Saw's already up towards B ramp. He's charging in towards the site. The timing could be here. There's only 1 player with the AWP in the site. That's Zadges. He's going to fall. That's an open B bomb site. Bomb will be going down for the finish lineup, but Hugo on the fast rotate just spots the man out from behind, but that might just be an early save call made now for the Swedes.
It's really not looking good. That is the problem. I feel as though the adjustment hasn't come in from the Swedes from yesterday. They've, the Finnish have been quite aggressive, right, in these rounds that they've taken. They've gone short, they've gone mid fast, and they leave mid completely open. They will be punished for it. I believe Hugo was coming back from CT at that point. And when that kill comes in, Zad, you just have to imagine like the kind of feeling that Zaddish has there. Yep. He'd be losing.
Total frustration.
Yeah, and then Hugo's like, what? Like, I'm in middle. No, they've just gone fast down middle, taking control. And sometimes you do get lucky. Other times, not so much. So
he's just full ramp. Like, he's just mashed W all the way down middle, up the top of B ramp, and they picked up the round. So 14-5 scoreline. 4 weapons saved for the Swedes, so they'll have another buy coming in here. So they just really have that M4 dropped over to them. They've got a really good buy as well. Great call there from the Swedes to try and stay in this first map.
They've just got to hold on as long as they possibly can. Rounds is going to be needed if they want to take the W at this point. And it will be the full regulation for them to win. Look at that damage coming through. The smoke from Zaddish. It will be. Zori, however, might have found a second trade, but it's not to be. With that, they take the counter-aggression towards short. And Slowy. Slowy's probably the last player you really want to see on the short position with an AWP. Zur now has to step up from the only area he's got from cover. Oh, Twixie through the smoke. And the Finns are still making this work. They've brought it back from the 2 versus 4. Twixie will hold onto the line. Hugo might just pop up and it might be a free kill. Zer, however, that might have just taken enough attention away. It doesn't make a difference. He kills both members on site with 8 HP. Finds himself the 3K. The Swedes, they're still in this.
Down but not out. That save was a fantastic call. Allowed them to hold on to these weapons and really put up that fight there. I like the aggression over towards Long, and they won that engagement. It finally paid off for them. And that's the type of plays we saw them make at Inferno yesterday, those aggressive plays on CT's side to win those early engagements. And are we going to see more of that now moving forward?
You'd hope so. You really would. Doesn't mean we're going to. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Well, you hate to see that.
That's a feels bad moment. And unfortunately, they've got to cop it on the chin and roll with the punches. Benji and Zadish, they still have the AWPs. There's still a silver lining in it all. Saw, however, manages to spot out Zadish, trying to take the shots through the smoke. They're going to return fire and take a hell of a lot of damage. And Zadish, there we go, finding the response. A little bit late, but it doesn't make a difference. The kill, it's still very much needed. 3 players pushing up from long, 1 from short. So this is where things get a little bit dicey. Hugo, oh my word, all of a sudden the trades are there. It's all on the Zadish, who misses the shot towards long. He now knows that 1's close. He's going to go ahead and re-aggress towards the smoke. Might find himself a quick scope, but my word, how fast is that from Slowy to find the response? And it was going to be AWP v AWP, mano y mano, but it's not to be. And the Finnish side have just secured themselves map point. That could be it. That could be all done and dusted for map number 1. And that's the Swedes pick.
Then we go to Cash. I mean, the Swedes, they've looked pretty decent on Cash, but on Havu, Finland, they've looked insane so far going forward here. Pushing up now. A little bit of aggression from the Swedes now. They're the force by, of course, trying to stay alive in this match. MP9 for Hugo, M4 for Benji. A shotgun for Zadjis and a couple of pistols. As long control is taken early now by the Finnish lineup.
The one thing that the Swedes have done incredibly well this entire map, I find those trades, and you saw that exactly in that last round. Even if you just looked at the scoreboard, not even what was going on the site, every kill that the CT found, the Ts were fast on the response. And it was literally the proof in the pudding on that last kill. The kill comes instantly from Zadish, but Slowy's too sharp. You're not going to get away with that. Now going to be playing with the swag. This is... Oh, I don't like seeing this. Not a Mag 7. Not where he is right now. Smoke's come over the top.
Oh, this
on the tops as well. This is not looking good. It's Zajdis that's going to have to try and support the 1 player on side. Zer falls early, and that might just be the side done and dusted. There's no one really left to contend. Zajdis tries to jump up and find himself a bit of a spot. Doesn't work out. Zen shuts down Rusty, and all of a sudden, Hugo and Benji, what can you give us? Maybe a moment of magic? That's a 2 versus 5, Matty.
Swedish magic. It's a thing we've heard of in the past, but it's looking very unlikely now. Hugo just at MP9. Nothing else to play with. And look at this position from Zen. He's got the off angle. He's going to push through this smoke any moment now. And that'll be map 1 going the way of the Finnish side. And great start, you know, the map pick of the Swedish lineup going the way of the Finns.
Yeah, Slowy was top fragging there. And that's what we were looking for. The AWPers on both sides were putting in work. Unfortunately, it was a little bit harder for the Swedish side to get rolling. But now the problem is, for me, you lose map 1. You lose your map pick. What can you start to do? Can we start to see a little bit more of a kind of clawing this game back? Because that's not a telling sign. It's 16-6, my friend.
I think the big thing for them, right, is the fact that they showed a little bit of life there with Benji on the AWP. They have to get him on the AWP straight away, right? He's dictating so much control for them across the maps. When he had the AWP on Cash yesterday, he started to light up the team. They started to take more fights and lock down mid-control on their CT side. So that's a refreshing thing that they can take into account going into the next map. But Finland, that was devastatingly perfection.
There's just no other way to look at it. This is what we expected from them coming into this best of 5. Now, if that's anything to go off the back of, I think we're going to see the Finns kind of just dominate the entire series. I don't really want to, kind of take anything away from the Swedish side, but I think the fact that, we come into this, we know and we expected Finland to come into this in the grand final, and there were no other expectations. Everyone we've spoken to from every different country have been ridiculous. But we'll wait a second because we're going to come back right after this break, guys, for map number 2. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. This is going to be map 2 of our CSGO Grand Final. It's a best of 5, so regardless of what happens here, we're still going to see one more map. That's the promising sign. But the Swedes, my friend, they just fell short. I don't want to say just fell short. They fell short by a mile.
So they made the jump, and they didn't even get close to the other side.
No.
That was it. That was the whole thing there. Finland were just all over them the entirety of the series, right? It started off with the pistol round on the CT side. They got a lot of aggression towards middle, picked up 3 quick kills. It was a 2-on-4. And then suddenly it was Zer and picked up like a 3K and made it ridiculous to do a 1v1. And then, you know, of course, as we saw time and time again, you know, we saw Flowey just cleaning up.
Yeah, a lot of the times we saw the clutches go the way of the Finnish side. Now, whether that's because of the individual players or maybe the nerves or whatever it is, it doesn't make a difference because 16-6 is not the greatest way to start out on your map pick.
On your map pick in a best-of-5 series when you're not the favourite as well, you know, you're coming in as the underdog, you need to get some confidence going forward, right? And they didn't get any of that.
No, but there's I mean, look, there's still time. There's still 2 maps for them to kind of claw back, but
you can be Mr. Optimistic,
look,
right?
I'm always Mr. Optimistic. I'm always like, yeah, team, you can do it. Kaish, I do think that we could see a bit of a better performance. We saw it yesterday. They were down in the dumps. It was like, I think it was 11-7. I don't even want to remember. It wasn't close at all when it headed to that second half. There was like a 4-5 round difference. Oh my goodness, how good is words. But the Australian side, they weren't able to close it out. I feel like if the Swedes can take, you know, the kind of spirit that they took into that, because they were looking like they were done for sure. So I do think that we can't write them off. There's still an opportunity for them to push back into this series. It's going to be quite a climb.
It's a very steep climb as well. You know, you're coming in towards Cash. I mean, like you said, they did look decent on it, but Finland have been known to play this map. They look very sharp on it as well. Players like Zen can get quite aggressive over towards their respective bomb sites. And I mean, we just saw time and time again, slow down that AWP. Oh my lord.
Now, I want to talk something about the AWP. Benji obviously had quite an influence on the scoped weaponry when he had it, and that's what we were looking for. But do you think that the double AWP setup helped, or do you think that it kind of threw them under the bus a little bit?
Massive deterrence to their economy. It just put them on the back foot for quite a long time. As we look back over towards the Vito's here, as we can see, the red side being Finland. They picked up the W there on the first map, moving on towards Cash, which is their own map picking in the order of events that we've come down to. So it's looking very much like that 3-0 I said at the start is very possible.
Yeah, I'm still holding on to hope, beyond hope, that the
You're
Swedes
clutching at straws, mate.
I'm literally like, there's nothing left for me to kind of say, come on, Swedes, you can do this. I need to see Benji go massive on the AWP. I need to see Rusty step up from who's actually, he's on the red reserve roster right now, but we need to see him step up. There's a lot of ifs and buts. There's a lot of kind of win factors that could come into play if the Swedes can make it work, but I don't know whether that double AWP setup was something that they should continue to run with. My colour caster.
It didn't do them any favours. All right, so Zadgis had a bit of an impact there. It allowed him to get some quite aggressive picks, right? Because it's really hard on Dust 2 sometimes as an entry fragger to take some long-range duels with an AK-47. So he used that over towards middle right to try and take some fights, and it didn't really pay off for them in that instance. So, I mean, curious to see how he goes. It looks like we're actually live into the game already.
Oh, wow.
Executing in towards the A site, missing half the pistol round as Finland do lock down the site with players holding in from quad as the bomb currently out of control for Zadgis. He's now on the 1v3.
Not the greatest start already. Looks like it was trying to explode onto that A bomb side. It was a minute 30, I think, when we came in. And then it already been
Zen. He's done it all.
Oh my word, another 3K. I believe that there was something close to 6 players dead by the time we got to a minute 30, and it was all on the A site. So you just have to expect an explosive A play. Zen going massive with a 3K. It's not the way in which Sweden are going to make their way back into this. Slow is just holding down the line. It's
not going to work for them if they're going to play like this, right? I mean, coming fast in towards that A bomb site, they got punished, right? Quick kills, I would have to assume, right? That early in the round was a minute and a half. 6 players were already, off the server, right? So fast play to the A site punished. No bomb being planted for the T side. So they'll be on the full save, and this is something that I'm proud of them taking out of yesterday's matches. It's not constant force buys. They're showing a little bit more respect to their opposition.
I feel as though they might have been more comfortable against the Australians than they are going to be up against the Finnish side. They know that they can't leave the economy in the balance of force buys. Oh god, that is not a way you want to start off. It's pistols, so if ever there's a round in which you want that to happen, this is the round, okay? Just whatever happens here, whiff, do whatever you need to, have a bit of fun.
Get out of your system.
Just, yes, take it completely out of your game for if you continue to get dunked on like that across towards boost.
It's going to make it hard, right? I mean, that's a huge chunk of damage done with a few seconds into the round as we tick down towards a minute. No real engagements taken. A bit of damage done to both sides. Pop flash comes in towards Squeaky. Door will be closed, though. But still more damage done. These players from Sweden are all very low, and the SMGs are getting ready to farm up this money. Here is Twixie. He's playing passive with the M4. Doesn't want to get too aggressive as he does come partially in towards the bomb site.
Yeah, just leave it all up to Saw. Let him hold with the MP9. Let him farm the money. He literally, that's exactly what he's doing. As Slowy gets a little bit more aggressive, there's the opening frag that we're looking for, but Twixie's just there basically as a safety net, as a reassurance that nothing can possibly happen. They're going to go across towards middle, and it is going to be the MP9 that should be able to farm. He finds 1, 2, and nearly the third on the flick. It's a nice spray control with the MP9, and they cannot get the kill there, the Swedes. Not even 1, 2 HP on the Zen, but another 3K for him, and that is cash money for days.
That's exactly what I said. I mean, there's a huge amount of damage done early. No real fights taken, just like a bit of tit for tat, little trading through walls and little bits of damage coming out there. And the SMGs, they just pick up all the frags for that one. So fantastic stuff for the Finland boys. They're going to build up into the bank now going forward. They're going to they save everything from that round as well, so they don't have to rebuy anything. They've got all the SMGs up. They have plenty of V2 to play with, but these AKs now can get a bit dangerous. This is the adjustment you need to see, though. Sweden has to be wary of this. Finland getting aggressive in towards middle with these SMGs.
We saw this from the Australians yesterday against Swedes, going aggressive towards middle, taking the early control and holding down the bottlenecks, which are not so devastating on Cat. Benji trying to fire away through the smoke, doesn't happen. And they look to realign towards B, however, with how close these players are, they're just going to explode through vents if anything need be. Saw now boosted up. He might find a free kill. That's going to be an AK drop, but he doesn't manage to do so. The information is not gained. However, it does allow Slowy to jump on into vents. This will be massive if they can come away with this round. This is the kind of economy boost that the Finnish team are looking for. That's the information being given to the Finnish. Look at them start to rotate. You can see Zen now swings towards middle, and Twix is already on his way. This is not looking good, Matty.
No, but the bomb hasn't fully committed to the side. They're still in useless, and Slowy's dropped in towards checkers already. There's 3 players ready for this push as the smoke comes in. Molotov deployed, counter play coming back, but this is a perfect play by Sweden. They've double faked him across. There's 5 players here for Finland, and they need to hurry it up. They're all towards A main. They're waiting to throw their nades, and Finland now, Twixie's going to be flying back across over towards Truck here. Is they going to walk out? Probably going to throw their smoke over towards Truck. Just get inside, but well-timed Molotov there, and Zen on the flank. Getting one there with the SMG, but Rusty pops out too squeaky in the long-range MP9, getting sprayed on. That's the bomb drop. 12 seconds on the clock, 10 to go. The bomb hasn't even made contact with the site as of yet. Saw he's causing so much havoc. He swings back into it, but there's no time for the bomb plant. Sweden will lose the round here, and Zerd just wants to do some damage, but no. He falls after time, and that's another rifle dropped, and fantastic play from Finland at the death.
The Finnish boys right there, that is perfect from them, right? They gamble across towards that B site. The retake is impeccable with SMGs, Matty B. How does that happen at range? But my quarrel is there's 30 seconds left. You throw a fake towards B, regardless, you don't know whether the players are coming across. You don't know what the CT side are doing. But you throw a fake towards B and you walk all the way back to A when they're clearing out B. You don't leave anyone there on alert to find a kill to try and stop that information from coming. You just go ahead and start walking all 5 players across towards A. That gives them so much time to rotate, and it makes it impossible for them to get out on the other side.
I just
don't think that's good enough from the Swedes.
It was a very poor call in my opinion. I feel like as they back into the game, players back in the server, but that long walk just really deterred them. If they went faster towards the A side, there was no one there, no rotation in. They just throw one smoke off towards Truck, right? They've still got some stuff to use post-point, and now they're back on these pistols. That pistol armor force by mentality is coming back in now, Rob, and it's starting to hurt me a little bit.
Yeah, is it possibly a... I don't want to say tilt. I do not want to say is it a tilt factor, but is it? Do you think that that's kind of
a mental
where
thing?
They're resorting to?
Potentially. I mean, they want to break the bank earlier, Finland, right? They got a couple of kills there. They turned it right back down to a 2v2. But, I mean, they were on the SMGs as well, so it was a bonus round for the Finnish side. So winning it is a bit of it doesn't really matter for them as they picked up all these AKs to go with it as well. Yeah, just holding the site down is just peeking across there. Molotov coming in, and that's going to force him off the angle now. A minute on the clock, and the bomb yet to commit to a site.
Finnish haven't got any information either. It's not like they've gone aggressive anywhere to try and find maybe a player lurking or a bomb. They're happy to sit and wait, and the utility usage from the Finnish are perfect. However, what it's allowed for the Swedes to explode onto a site if they wish to. They've only got 3 flashes to retake or to hold. It doesn't look like it's going to pay any sort of dividends here for the Swedish side. The Zen that holds from the heavens above finds the first, the second, and not the third, unfortunately. Benji shuts him down and pushes through with the Deagle, doing a little bit of damage to the side of Zori. Doesn't make a difference. All 4 players for the CT side there and waiting. Look, I think I just want to touch on that fake again from the Swedes. I like it because it's completely different to what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, no one, like I said in the broadcast yesterday as well, no one was throwing any fakes, right? They were committing to a site. They just didn't execute it properly. They threw all their utility and they waited far too long, and it allowed Finland to get back in towards the site. So, like, the thought process is correct, the execution not quite there.
That's all right. It all starts with, 1 or 2 plays. And if they can make that work, it'll be perfect. But look at that aggression towards A main. The first time we've seen it, and the first kill comes in from Slowy. It slows any sort of push coming through towards A. They're halted in towards middle. They've only got 1 smoke left to head towards the site. Luckily, it's Kaohsiung. You can do this, but not that. Zen's been able to drop the bomb. Didn't even see him being aggressive in the useless there. This is absolutely ridiculous for the Finns. Calling it down to a dime. However, they do get punished. Zajdish is now waiting for Zori to maybe peek out a little bit too aggressive. The smoke's there, so he's going to be holding the line. Sorry, does he go aggressive through the smoke? No, not just yet, but 1 player in towards Ven will be punished. Zajdish, he'll delete Zori, who was looking to make the exact same play that we were talking about. And it's all into a 2 versus 3. It's very doable for the finish here.
Yeah, they've still got flashbangs and kits on both players at 2v3. Post plants not the worst here, but there we go. Hugo caught out in the open there, trying to adjust his position, and Slowy coming in from heaven with the AWP. Not the easiest place to come out of for a retake there, but a flashbang comes in. He misses his opportunity though on the man on headshot. Another flash coming across. Just swinging back in. They're trying to catch the man. He's pushed all the way in towards Tree Room now. As Twixy pushed in towards the side. He's going to try and win that initial engagement, but the timing's not quite there. Now 2v1, and he has to swing it into one. He doesn't turn it quite into 2 1v1s, and he loses that one out as Zadges just re-peeks into it, and Sweden gets there first.
Yeah, uncharacteristic like of Slowy there. Unfortunately, not going to be hitting the flick with the AWP. That's okay. It's not all bad news. They can still buy up into this. It's a lesser buy, yes, but look at the utility that they're taking into this. They sacrificed 2 rifles for a complete belt of utility, and I don't mind that at all. The way that they've been able to do this, that is massive. Rusty starting off with the kill through the smoke. The grenade comes through just a little bit too late and only catches the backside of him, so he manages to get away with a kill. And for 80 damage, it's quite harsh, but there's going to be the retrade. Exactly what we needed to see. A little bit more aggression, and he re-peaks the angle and finds the third as well. Zerk can't do anything. He's holding down 4th as well. Go ahead, give us the ace, Zori. Give us the moment to remember. Holding down the line from Czech as the Molotov comes out. It forces him into the open. Benji now looking to claw this back, but oh my word, only Pixels in it to miss that. Benji's now being given a 1v2, and you still don't count out him just yet. There's an opportunity for him to make this work.
Bomb down now, over towards the white box at that B-man entrance, and Zen's going to go passive in towards the bomb site. This is very winnable still for Sweden, but Zen, he's so experienced and cool and calm, and he'll save the round there for his side, but what a play by the AWPer there.
Unbelievable. That was a massive 4K to come through. That was Zori, wasn't it?
That was Zori there. He had nothing going on at the moment, and he picks up a massive 4K. And just a quick touch on Zen, he's 12-3 right now. He is just destroying everyone on the server.
Tapping heads. Deleting pretty much anyone that he comes in. Counter with, Slowy with the AWP, with the opening again. It's almost like the script has already been written, Matty. He's finding pretty much all of the openings for the Finnish side. The Swedes are throwing everything that they can physically do. They're on the force buy again, trying to keep the economy of the CT side in check, but it just doesn't seem to be having too much of an impact in rounds. The economy is, but unfortunately it doesn't make a difference if you can't collect the buffer of rounds on the T side to go with it.
No, they need a little bit more here in this one though. Hugo holds the line, gets a great shot there onto Slowy, just trying to re-aggress a little bit too much. There's the man in towards Quad and Forklift there. Hugo just swinging a bit wider. They're going to go in towards this ace right now. All the players are here. Twixy wins that initial duel, but that just trades back with the Deagle there. Getting aggressive now. Zern on the Tech 9, and there's still a man towards the site. Saw doing damage with the MT9. He's going to win that second duel as well, and he's staying alive with 3 HP. He's going to try and get away with his life, and there's still a teammate in the site. Zen helping the man out with the AWP is Zadges, and he'll lose that last fight. And a great lockdown again by Finland.
Yeah, I love that from Zen. Sees that he's going to be re-peaking and just goes aggressive with that wide swing. Nicely done. It literally seems like every possible thing that the Swedes could have thrown at the Finnish side, they're prepared for it. Finland are coming out on top pretty much every encounter possible. 1 round 1 in amongst 7. They're going to go faster towards that A site, maybe just the pistols to do some damage. They nearly catch out Twixy, who was going for a jiggle peek to get some information. The flash comes over. That alerts them at the very least there's someone with a deagle in there. Somebody goes aggressive towards Useless again, and I'm loving this from the CT side. It's not every round, and it's not calculated. It's just, it's beautiful.
He's just charging in from behind there. Twixy falls to the Molotov, and Zerr only off Bangalore, just standing outside the smoke. Won't get anything done there. 7-1 scoreline, and like you said, this blind aggression from the Finnish side, it's not as blind as you think it is. It's calculated in the sense where they're looking to gain control of the map. They're playing the chessboard correctly. They're looking at the economy of Sweden, going, they're on the eco. We can take these SMGs, we can take control of the map, and we can farm some good cash.
Sorry's been able to do that more times than not. Saw him only a couple of rounds ago drop the bomb in Useless, so he's making it work. Benji shutting down Slowy. That's the first peak that we were looking for. That is the AWP encounter to start things out. Oh my word. Literally a leg between it. It's not going to happen. Zen. Oh, Zen's gone undetected. That is massive. He hides behind Fork. Swings wide onto the member of Rusty. The bombs drop down in the open. Zerr is the only to remain coming through from middle. He's found himself on a 1 versus 3. But with how long it's taken him to head towards this site, they've got to be aware that he's on that flank.
Yeah, a bit of a late lurk out coming here. The minute on the clock to play around with. He's got no money in the bank. This one's not one where you want to be saving in, good sir. He's going to try and cause some damage here, try and win the round out. Saw still low, got 20 HP left in the bank. He's going to just hold the angle and begin pushing forward ever so slightly. There's a man over towards Truck, so this is the initial fight that he has to win.
Oh, that is mighty unfortunate. I don't know if he even checked, so that's, yeah. The story that the Swedes have had to cop on the chin so far in this series. 8-1, and it's looking like that first map, Matty. Possibly going to be seeing a quick, clean 3-0. I just want to touch on the fact that in 7 games, I'm taking away the fact that it was the Serbian game. They've only dropped 31 rounds with this at the moment, the Finnish side. They have completely wiped clean the tournament. Every team, it doesn't make a difference. They are just going to hold towards B. That's going to be the damage done with the utility before anyone is even spotted out. They've got 3 players there. The Swedes have to back away and lick their wounds. It's just looking so good from Finland.
Zen's going to get aggressive here behind this smoke. You can just tell, you can feel it happening. He swings wide there, takes the head off of Zer. And that's a late bit of information given to the Swedes there. Wow, words didn't work out of my mouth at that point. But 5 HP on Hugo with the Deagles. That just has a couple of bits of utility and the bomb still in hand. But a 5 on 2, very unlikely to get anything done from this point, Rob.
Find a kill if you're lucky. There's really nothing left for them in this encounter. That's the proof in the pudding. Hugo swings wide to try and find one towards middle, but we have to now look for the rest of this map from Sweden. Take the previous 10 rounds out of the book, just rip the page out, throw it away, and say, who cares? Let's just focus on what we can do. It's out of our control now. There is no need for us to dwell on what has happened. We have seen 3 different players for Sweden pick up the AWP, Matty.
And they've all been equally impactful on it as well. They've all had fantastic work. I think the main thing, it needs to go back to Benji though. I mean, he's been the main player with it. I don't really get Zerd picking it up. He's had a bit of a quiet match. Maybe he's not feeling the rifle, but 9-1, something's got to change for Sweden. This could be it.
Anything would be better than nothing. That's not what you want to see though. Zer is just playing catch with Twixie. However, it's not a baseball, my friend. It's a HE. Takes a whopping near 60 damage. Hugo clearing out towards B main. The second he's spotted from Zori there, Saw will just drop down and annihilate him. Sweden still have not found themselves any kind of space on the map. They finally get a bit of a smoke out towards middle, but it doesn't make a difference. They've already got one to deal with. Swords just drop both players. He might even find a third in towards B main. He could still do damage. He's not even out of vent yet. And there's 2 players still deep in B main. Zori swings. Saw will be punished, however, for trying to find himself the 4K. And Saw literally just in the perfect location to make that work.
What do you reckon the mentality is in the Swedish camp right now? They're down 10-1. Finland just hit double digits on map 2. They lost their map pick. And now the next map as well, Train, it's one that you haven't played too much of it. It's one of the best in Finland's pool.
I think it's more of a let's go team, let's have fun. Well, what else are you going to do? They've gone with a forced buy. Probably not going to pay off either. Smokes and nades come out. Look at the damage that it dealt as well. Twixie's just going to hold on and wait for these players to push in. He's heard the information. Some small steps being made, so he actually initiates the rotate. They're going to head it back towards B, but they just slow back down. A little bit confused by the buy as well, but at this point, you do just have to enjoy yourself.
I mean, you know, winning is pretty good though. But playing on the stage, playing at a LAN, it's all exciting things for these players that haven't really had the opportunity to do so as of yet. So that's a big thing these guys can take away from the event. I mean, but getting ahead of myself, it's still early on in the best of 5 series. We've only had 1 map finished up. It looks like Finland though, they're certainly all over the Swedes right now as they're stacked up over towards B behind this smoke, and Zen, He's still pretty aggressive there. There's another smoke will be deployed by the Swedish side. They're going to go fast over towards the speed area, and a very quick spray down there. Zen gets 4 for himself. Rusty the last one alive as Twixie cleans that one up. Clinical.
There's nothing more you can analyse about that than just clinical. The smoke comes down, he just hides behind checkers, waits for that time, because you know for a fact they're not going to be running with the smoke. They're going to wait until it bursts down. He waits that 1 second, that buffer that you see most AWPers wait for the smoke to go down before they take their shot. He swings wide, and with the spray control, all 4 just turn into the meat grinder that is that AK. And a stronghold again, but look at the economy for Finland. There are no silver linings in this one for the Swedish side. 1 round to show for their T side so far. They do find a response on Twixie. Maybe something to work off the back of, but you still have to think that the way that the Finnish side have been able to hold down, it's still going to work.
Well, they've now split themselves up. They've got 2 players on the A site, 1 in towards middle, 1 soloing over towards B, but Straw pushes forward. That's a free kill given away to Zagis. That allows them the opportunity now to split in towards the A site late in the round. Rusty, patient in behind the white box. This is all about timing now for Zen. If he's putting this angle out, but no, Rusty gets the timing play. Zore, last man alive now with the AWP in hand. It's a 1v4, and Sweden should get their second, so can't jump the gun just yet. They still have another half of Counter-Strike to go on this map.
They do, and we saw it in last night's match against the Australians. They still managed to find some damage to be done. Zori just deleting Rusty from the server there. He's just going to wait for anyone else to peek him. Bit of a sweet pill to swallow for the Swedes so far. Benji pushing through. Just the timing on that. Literally couldn't have got much worse. Sajdish as well. I don't think he's going to realise that he's up in towards heaven. He might just fall here. If he swings, surely not. Surely he doesn't swing. Oh, he hasn't heard the footstep. Oh, too late. Too late, my friend. You may as well have thrown that seconds earlier and hoped for the best, but that's okay. The Swedes pick up a second round, but they lose 3 players at the cost of it.
Do you reckon he knows? Do you reckon he knows he was there, and now he knows that he's just missed the opportunity to drop the AWP?
I don't think it matters at this point with their economy. I'm surprised they haven't put the feelers out to try and find the kill. No opening for Zori as he jump spots around the corner. Zen, again, he has been an absolute rock towards that bottom side of Kaohsiung. Towards B, he has been the hero for the Finnish side more times. Multiple frags, but this time Hugo deletes him. Oh, hold up. Zajdish and slow in. Zajdish completely swap up positions. You almost would have thought that possibly the T side were holding on, but with that, it is going to be the bomb rotating across towards B. And Slowy is fast rotating through T spawn. There's still plenty of time left. And again, with the 40 seconds that is needed, Slowy's already in towards B main.
This is a huge flank, Rob. Timing is of the essence. 50 seconds on the clock there. There's still a man to his right there. He doesn't get the timing on Hugo. He flicks across and he gets up 4K for the round. Big plays there by the Swedes. They pick up 2 on the trot now. 11-3 scoreline, and still money in the bank for the Finland side. Coming in the last round of the half as well.
Definitely, Swedes cannot allow this to escape their grasp. If that's 3 rounds on the trot, if they make it work. Crazy the momentum that can swing with only 3 rounds. It might just do it. For now, just a default spread. And waiting for this aggression that the Finnish side have shown. But it's not going to be this time. Zori finds Hugo, maybe on the back of a support flash. It looks like it. Saw was there in Vent. And he has been a menace in that middle area. Dropping from Vent, finding the kills towards middle. They still have not been able to combat that. That's it. Benji opening up onto the AWPer. There's still 1 more to go, but job might have been done from Benji so far. He evens the scoreline back out as they now set their eyes Towards that's a nice shot coming through from Benji. He might just go off the back of this, and so do the Swedes start to hit on in. It's going to be Zen that holds onto the line. Benji finds a third. He's putting in work right now. The Orpa is stepping up in a moment of need. He just doesn't hit the shot on the Zen. And they're all going to line up for Zen, but he doesn't hit the last player. That would have been devastating for the Swedes, but now, sorry, he's out in the open. Needs to be careful. So over towards Toxic. He's still got 2 players to find to bring this one back.
The double pick comes in though, and the pistol good for 1, but not the second, as saves the day at the depth there, 11-4 half. And Sweden, they came back with 3 rounds on the trot towards the back end of the half, but it still looks like too little too late to me, Rob.
Yep. Yeah, it gets to that point. I believe that's the Finnish side on your screens right now. Stone Cold Killers.
Cool, calm, collected gamers.
Just cool cucumbers, mate. That's all they are, you know. But you got to give credit to Benji opening up on that AWP. Now starting to see the scope weaponry come to more effect on the Swedish side. But as you said, is it too little too late?
One would hope not if you're a Swedish fan, as we're going to see a quicker play over towards the A side. A very passive setup from Sweden here. We saw them versus Australia do this. As 1 man over towards Carl, 1 towards Harris. The smoke comes in very early there. A couple of flashbangs being thrown out there. Just a couple of feelers take control of the bomb site. And Finland have no worries getting the bomb plant down here. And now 5v5.
It's going to be a little bit more complicated for the Finnish side to hold with no more utility left. The Swedes, they still have the smoke in the kit, so they could make this work. The opening was there from Benji again, who's had a massive impact so far. Slowy, that's what we're looking for. Rusty, however, going to be deleting him from the server now, swinging wide. Twixie on the back, he finds another, and that's now up onto Benji, who can't get anything done. And in the blink of an eye, the Finnish side shut down that small push from the Swedes. They're literally not even giving them a hint. No room to breathe. The belt is stricting, and it's not looking too promising.
It's not looking too promising at all for Sweden now, Rob. I mean, that bomb site take, it was relatively easy for Finland. They got the first 2 picks coming into the site there, but it was a 3-on-5 that Finland won out there, holding those tighter angles in towards the A site. It's heartbreaking for Sweden.
It's just, there's no real way that we can put it for it to sound or look pretty. That progression smoke for them to push through. Zori might have just found the right angle on it, which he has done so. Hugo was expecting a possible push from the closer side to the wall. Now Zori finds the angle, and any sort of momentum that was gained on the back of that information, it's all but lost. They've got 3 players stacked up and the 4th coming over. Zajdish is now going to attempt to support from a little bit deeper. Z now, it's going to be Benji to spot out. Can't find anything. Now the pour on towards the site. This is where it gets a little bit more complicated for the Swedes. The smokes come out, the utility, it completely isolates the players on site. The 2 kills come in so fast, and Benji's stuck out. He's got no bullets left in the scout. He's still alive, but for not much longer. Zajdish, it's all going horribly wrong for the Swedes.
Where did that wallbang just come from? Where's Twixie?
I have no clue. I have no clue how he got that.
Regardless,
that is
a 13-4 scoreline. It's just Finland just showing a bit of muscle over the Swedes right now, and it's looking like it's going to be 2 very quick maps to start us off here before we get our way over towards Train.
Train to be possibly the 3rd and final map if the Finnish side have anything to say about it. Zen will find one pushing on down, just shutting down everything in his path. He will eventually be taken down by Hugo. But my word, my friend, you are going to have to try and claw this one back for your team. A 1 versus 3, the MP9 in hand against 3 AKs and 2 near full belts of utility. It's not looking all that promising, and he's just going to have to back away.
Well, what's he got to save? He can probably try and pry one of these AKs away, but there's still a player on the hunt. That's Slowy. If you can hear this noise being made over towards middle there. I think it was all the SMGs dropped. I don't even think they've lost a rifle so far, so good news there for the Finnish side as Hugo's coming in towards T-spawn here. Has to be careful now with these angles being cleared as he's playing just on the off angle. I think Twixie's aware of the possibility here. He'll swing into this one and clean up that one. A little bit of a dicey duel, but 14 rounds on the board now for Finland.
27 frags on the Zen. This guy is putting on quite the show. In the previous matchup, it was Slowy that we were looking to for pretty much all of the engagements and all of the clutches that were needed. Pulled in multiple big rounds, the 1v3s, the openings on pretty much every round on their T side. And now it's been nothing but Zen. Zen and Slowy show. Some small aggression towards middle. This is for map point. And the Swedes they're being caught out and punished for anything. I don't think that there's been one case where their hands have not been slapped.
I can't recall any others either myself. I feel like it's all just been Finland just really flexing right now. But Hugo hits a great shot there on Matuxi over towards B main, which is a bit of an opening for them. Slowly trades one back there. Damage getting done onto Zoro. But coming in towards the site, they clean up the entirety of the B-bomb site. And now a 2v4. There's an XM in the hands of Zajish. That man loves a good shotgun play, but it's not going to do the job here on the retake for the B site. It's probably one of the hardest sites in the game to retake. It's so small, so exposed, hard to get utility off. Just not looking the goods, Rob.
It is not whatsoever. No easier way or nice way to put it. You just got to let them down easy at this point. It's map point and the Finnish side after this round, and the way that they've closed out all the rounds in their paths. I just feel like the third map, there's, I hate to say it, but I don't think there's any hope.
Mr. Optimistics now Debbie Downer.
It's now starting to slip away a little bit too much. 10 rounds to show in 2 maps.
In the best of 5.
The best of 5 final, my friend.
The grand final. Playing for $10,000 here. And you know, your country's title here, and do them dirty. Oh, do them dirty, Slowy.
Oh, damn. Not even half a pixel away from that one, but that's all right. Oh, look at this from Zajdish. Why not? May as well give it a shot. There we go. There's the refrag coming through for Sweden, but he actually sticks around a little bit too long and surely should be punished. He's doing damage with the XM. Oh, he's found another kill, but he's not going to find the third. Zen will put him to bed. And with that, possibly the last impact from Zajdish. He finds himself a 2K in what looks to be the final round. One member with the AWP. Benji needs to go big. Misses the first shot. Has to back away. Doesn't expect the push to continue. And that's not what we need to see. Hugo, will he be able to trade back out? He's looking for that bait. But he has not taken it.
Now having to hold the line in from Truck, and the flank coming in from Dirt. Timing crucial here. He'll drop the bomb there. Zen's lost it. Now 2v2 damage is done onto Zerz. Hugo staying alive. He with the AWP in hand. He'll take down Saw now. So Slowy, he's now suddenly left in a 1v2. He's isolated these 2 players though. So Zer will fall. Hugo with the AWP as well. But the AK is going to go charging through a smoke here. And it's just the read. Ooh, that's a huge play from Hugo if he commits to the B site. But Slowy, he's got 30 seconds to play with. It's going to be the A plan.
Yeah, commits back all the way deep in B. Not even a tree to give himself a small fighting chance. Ooh. Slowy, oh, hold up. Is he going to walk right into the open arms of Hugo? Has Hugo just brained on Slowy right now? He found the kill across towards A, and this would be absolutely massive for Sweden. Surely. Then they need anything right now. Something is better than nothing. No! Oh, what's going on? Oh, they've just seen each other. Hugo pulls the knife out. He gets baited slowly. Does he manage to win this? Oh, no way! Oh, that is so unlucky from Hugo. He waited until the last possible second to move.
What? What did we just witness, Rob? That was incredible. I thought for a hot minute right there, Hugo had just won it out. They kept his team alive in map 2, but it wasn't to be. It's Slowy. That spray finally transferred onto him in through the smoke, and I'm lost for words.
Head in hands. The only way to put something like that. Oh, that's really unfortunate. I mean, look, it's unfortunate, but still 10 more rounds after that to try and claw back any thought of a map victory. It was not looking too promising, so it would have just been something nice to take away from the map at the very least. Some sort of momentum possibly for the third map that is going to be trained. not really the biggest fan of how this is going so far. I was giving the Swedes a small little buffer, a chance to make something work. You never know. Benji could still go off. Rusty could still step up. There's still an opportunity for them to pull themselves back, but I believe that this is a map that we haven't seen them play for the past 3 months.
Exactly right. It's one that people love to play as well. They've got a very good record on it as well in the past few months. So it's the bleakest of situations for Sweden. If they can somehow win this map, then game on, right? We head over to Mirage then, and they can change up their play style. We've seen them play Mirage so far frequently across the series, but the event rather. But I don't see them taking it after this one, regardless if they somehow take Train.
It's kind of it would have to be a godsend, right, to take Train.
A literal godsend.
Like, it would have to, someone would have, the CS gods would have to bless Benji with the AWP. Like, I think that is who we're going to have to highlight for Train. He's been so far probably the best performer, you'd have to say, on the Swedes, map 1 and 2. I don't know how you feel about that.
I feel like he did have a fantastic impact on the AWP though, but the ball has to get rolling for him. Zadgis and Rusty have to create the space for him. So I think that core 3 has to do all the work if they're going to have any hope coming towards Train.
Yeah, it makes it just a little bit more complicated. I mean, you got to give props to Zen. I'm not entirely sure what the end amount of frags were, but 27 frags at, I think it was the 18th round, 19th round. That is just absolutely absurd.
He destroyed them, right? He was pure aggression, and over towards that B side of the map, he was coming back and forth for a very long time. But we're going to take a quick look at the highlights now.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, 3 days of grueling Counter-Strike tournaments with 26 teams, all down to 2, and now down to possibly the third and final map of our best-of-5 series with Sweden and Finland. Matty B, Finland have just looked too strong.
You're exactly right, Manik. I feel like the big thing, right, coming out of the gates, Finland put their authority on the entire match, starting off on Dust 2. Here on Cash, it was more of the same as well. We just couldn't see the Swedes get going at any real footing. I mean, we saw the initial pistol round, well, we saw the back end of the pistol, but when we came into that, right, they'd lost 4 players straight off the bat with a very fast rush.
Zen that came down to Zen's play as well, right? He came out with a massive 3K to hold that site, and that, it was a minute 30 on the clock when we came into it, and there were 4 players dead. Like you're saying, it's not the greatest sign to see, but doesn't make a difference. It's only been 9-10 rounds collectively for the Swedish team on map 1 and 2. Regardless, it's just not going to be good enough. I do say just. I do not mean just. It is definitely not going to be good enough to take a third map, I don't think. Train, we were just talking then. it's definitely going to favour the likes of the of Slowy on the AWP. I don't really see a world in which the Swedes can bring this back. However, me being Mr. Optimism, I have to try and be positive for these boys.
Yeah, no, they're going home.
They've been sent packing.
Finland have just landed their authority on this entire series. And coming into train, the Swedes do not play train. This particular team have not played train at all.
Yeah, just very quickly, we are getting some information on the third place match. It's currently on against Romania and Thailand. It's 1-1 in a best of 3 series, so the winner of that gets to take home $4,000. Not a bad little thing to take home. However, the winner of this match will take home $10K and bragging rights for the 10th Esports World Championship held by IeSF. And it's all down to this, all down to the wire. One map possibly to seal the deal for Finland. It looks like we will be getting ready just about now. The players all in server. Looks like the pistol round might just be ready to partake. And here we go. This is what it comes down to, Matty B.
This is the big one, Rob. Third and possible final map, Sweden versus Finland here at the Kaohsiung Arena here in Taiwan. Getting cracking. Finland, they have 2 flashes and a smoke grenade. They're going to post up very passively here. Just going to take some generic control of the map to start us off here. Armor across the board, though, for the Swedes. Not really playing with any utility. They're looking to win these duels.
Yeah, they're going to have to as well. They don't really have a choice. But Rusty's in the nice position. He's got the spotter and Zadish just holding back from deep in Ivy. So it gives him a small room to move. Even if Rusty spots them first, the information will be given to Zadish to kind of respond quickly. With the setup that they're running, 2 towards Brown Halls, 2 towards Ivy, 1 towards T-Con, you have to expect it's going to be that A pins that we do see so often. Smoke comes over the top, that'll isolate Bomb Train to Con, so that will pull Benji out of position, but Slowy, they're going to walk straight past him. Rusty's been able to find one. That was important. The first frag goes the way of the Swedes, and the second as well as Rusty fades away behind the box. It's now Zori to push up on towards the side. Benji's being able to put in work. Zori tapping away, finds the response quickly, but that is a very nice start for a pistol rounds.
I loved that setup over towards Ivy there with Zadish and Rusty. They're just playing off the back of each other. That was a really good position to be in, of course, as well. If the Pinta had come in, you know, play through T-Con, in through that ladder. That's the sort of scenario where you see Zadish, he has all that information. He can play a bit passive or more towards that old bomb train and help with the retake. But they won those duels towards Ivy, which gave them total control of the backside of the map, and they could take those fights, and they won them all out in daring fashion. And now a 1-0 start. We will have the force bar coming in from Finland, though. No bomb plants. They're going to look to try and get one over towards the B side of the map early on by the looks of it. But Benji, he's in towards ladder. Potential for a fast rotate. It'll do some damage in from the behind.
Yeah, so the flash comes towards small ladder. He's going to have quite the task ahead of him and can't even get past the first hurdle. So they pick up an MP9. In the whole scheme of things, maybe not too much to stress about, but with the Molotov and smoke being deployed, there's only 2 smokes left. 1 kit onto the side of the Swedes, and Hugo's on the site with that kit. That's going to be important. Now utility reigns over the top to B. Hugo's going to have to try and hold with the support of Zur. He finds the first in the opening. And maybe the trade to come through, not just yet. It's Hugo that puts in work on site. He's now got 1 more to find. The MP9 eventually finds himself a kill. Saw going to be the last to remain with only a CZ. Oh, finds a nice dink on Zadish as he swings off of the bomb train. But there we go. The Swedes, if ever there's a way to start, if ever there's a way to possibly claw back a map 3 and send it into a 4th, this has to be it.
Yeah, well, we're waiting for the 4th round for a gun round now, with Finland going for that force play. They're looking to try and get the bomb plant down, but a great lockdown there by Hugo and Zur over on the B side there. 2 players playing there quite early in the round, which is a bit different, as you can see, but they were aware the players in towards Pop Dog. There was a great bit of utility damage done there. The HE's in towards T-Con. They're going to come flying out those. Zur taking the initial duels. He picks up 3 for himself. Zad is still playing around here, and a 4th for Zur. He's looking for one last player. That is Zen over towards SL. In more towards back of the B halls. So 1 man, 5 players, 1 deagle. I'm expecting not too much here, unfortunately, Rob.
No, I don't think so. Nope. Benji makes light work. No head armor. Just makes your head as squishy as it can possibly be. 3-0 and Swedes, this is where they can start to grab a bit of a lead. My concern being when we head to T-side, we know that the Swedes don't play this map as much or at the very least, this exact team we have no results for the Swedish team on this map. So we're just going off pure stats, and Slowey, he's going to be completely blinded. That is a massive start. They find the first frag, maybe even a second and a third. There we go. The damage not going to be enough from Zadic. Oh, Zer, that would have been a massive if he had have found that. That would have been 2 kills in the bag and possibly a 4th round on the trot. Benji gets faked across towards B. And Finland, they've sold him the candy. All the way on towards the A site. This is going to be incredibly hard. Maybe just going to look for that AWP, but that was a massive play.
AWP retrieved there by Finland, so maybe an AK or two. Not sure if there's any kits there for Benji to play around with either, so it doesn't look like the retake will be coming in here. I mean, the money is quite decent on the Swedish side, and they can definitely rebind to this one. Hugo would be the only player really struggling to go forward. That's a kit retrieved there, as well as the AK-47, so retake potential is on, but it looks like he's going to be holding on to this AK-47 for now, as the bomb's already ticked down massively. Good return now by Finland.
Yep, the response, it's got to be sharp. It's got to be prompt. The last thing they want to see is the Swedes running away with, you know, a couple of early rounds on that CT side. They don't want to make life too hard for themselves when they swap. And at the very least, this will keep the economy in check. They had not really bought too much into this, the Swedes. So they're not going to be too upset about that. You can see Hugo is the lowest player in economy, and that pretty much will allow Benji just to drop that AK across, which you're going to see exactly happen. The AWP picked up. Maybe a second. No, they're going to go for the single setup this time. And now the battle of the AWPers will ensue. Being such a heavy AWP-dominated map, Matty.
It's one that's really open for the AWPers, as well, especially towards their outer yard there, in through Connector, in through T-Con. You can get some quick picks when you drop down SL over towards Ivy. Like at the back of the odd bomb trains. Like as you said, it's a very much viable for an AWPer to be on this map. And getting them both up early for both teams is a huge step forward. Look at this from Zadic. He's got total Ivy control here, so they're allowing themselves to cheat more players now across the map. They've got 2 players playing B very early on in the round, but Finland haven't committed anything to any of these sites as of yet.
No, well played as well, because that took a fair bit of utility for Sweden to take that. 2 flashes and a smoke, a second smoke being deployed as well. So they've just burnt through what was a small belt for Sweden to use. Only 1 smoke left on the Zur. So when it comes to that later round, the Molotovs are going to have to come out. It's good that they've held on to them, though. It's exactly what they need to do, but they have to deploy them at the right moments. The smoke's going to come over the top towards A, but that will just bait out some utility being used. Still, Finland will wait for the time. It's going to be Zur that goes aggressive. Zajdis, that was a nice call from Sweden to find the quick trade. And now Zen responds back. Rusty left his teammate all alone, and Small Letter was completely open. They completely annihilate the A side hold. Hugo's going to try to do anything, but Zen's going to completely delete him. Benji's the only one to remain, and it's small mistakes being made by the Swedes that, you know, you give the Finnish team an inch and they'll take a mile.
And they've done that so far. They just poured all over that bomb site. Timing not quite there. Spots out. Saw there swinging across the yard. I don't think he saw Zen over towards that green train. Very quick movement there, but Slowey still holding the line towards Ivy. That's the AWP dropped, and an eco round forced in there by Sweden. They could potentially force by those pistols. They've been very famous for doing so far this event, but a good return from Finland after losing the pistol.
Just the response we expected to see from what has been a dominant side. No one has quite shown the prowess, the individual capability that the Finns have shown. And overall, they just seem to be the sharper team here. Really, only the Serbians have put up any sort of a fight, and a close fight at that, but they seem to be walking all over the Swedes at this point. Finding entry after entry, trade after trade. It's making the CT's life very difficult. We'll spot out Zen, but he's not going to hit the shot. Another jump gives him his life for just a moment longer. 3 HP, might be able to find a kill here, but Sweden's job just continues to get harder.
And now just 2 pistols left alive here. The hunt's currently on. Zore looking to try and pick up both these plays. You get the timing there on Dezer. And Benji, he's hanging around the bomb train, still looking to do some damage, maybe take one of these rifles away from a player like Zen. He's still playing aggressive there, but Twixie cleans that one up, and the score's now leveled 3-3, and this T side from Finland's looking pretty good so far. I mean, Sweden can't let this one snowball out of control there. You're on CT side train. You have to take an early advantage into this one, or you can kiss that prize money and the trophy goodbye.
And the trophy, the bragging rights, the money, it's all there. And it's in touching distance for the Finnish side. Four players stacked across to the A side to start with. Again, Finland have just been so patient on these T sides. Even when they don't find those exact openings. That's a... Oh! Hugo. Nearly losing his life there to a spray and a nade that comes through, but it's not going to happen. Drops down to 8 HP. Still something to fight with. Going to be the opening kill for Zajdish, unfortunately. He's on the receiving end of that bullet to the head. 4 versus 5, again not favouring the Swedes.
And with a level it up there, Benji getting a pick there with the AWP. There's forced off the angle behind E-Box with the M4 in hand, and players already pushing out through Olaf and getting control of that Sam is missing to Zorro, but it's traded back by Benji, playing in the bomb site, staying alive there. Rusty's good for one, now 2v2, coming through the smoke will be Zen, making plenty of noise here, coming on Benji now. Timing is crucial. They've just missed each other. That is huge plays there. And there's the timing on the AWP. Slowy playing around the bomb train still, up above. And that'll be Zen finally getting the timing on his opposition. And that leaves Hugo now 1v2, and he's certainly got no HP to play with.
8 HP, you can't ask him to do too much at this point. If he can find the kill on the Zen, it might be big, and he's got the bomb, so he might be able to drop this. Oh, this could be massive. He finds the kill. Now he can back away. Slowy, he's on the AWP, completely pulls out of position there. Hugo, he might just have the timing. He looks to hold back from connector. Slowy's going to drop the smoke. He's got no clue where he is. Does he have enough time? Oh, Hugo's baited him out. Slowy might have just made this work. Oh, what is that? Slowy! What is that? What is that? How do you make that work? How do you hit that shot with the AWP?
How? That had to be the last second smoke dissipating, and he just sees that tick on the mini-map.
What is Hugo still doing there?
He just had to run away. That was incredible though from Slowy. I am bewildered.
But if he's not going to go through the smoke, then pull away. Don't give him the opportunity. And now in a 1v1, they come out on top again.
I'm still trying to regather myself after that last round, Rob. Zen getting the opening over towards the outer bomb site. Good nade there, getting a lot of damage done on the Rusty. He's forced wide of the angle there. His player's taking fights in from team main, and a quick clean up there from Finland as they're going to start to really roll away with this one. That is backbreaking for Sweden, that type of
It's so detrimental. There's not even a scale in which you can put that on to say this is the kind of impact that's going to have. That is tilt factor times a million, because once he takes that shot, you know for a fact that he was off that bomb and he was not going to get that planted. Like, how frustrating is that for you as Hugo? Again, my point still stands. If you're not going to go through the smoke, don't stand there.
If anything, he should falter a step to come through the smoke and then just go back around the corner, right?
He did that. That's why Slowy pulled himself off the bomb. But then he stayed in the smoke. And Slowy, so lucky. Molotov will do quite a bit of damage to Rusty there, unfortunately, to start things out in Sweden again. They really can't catch a break at this point.
No, but look at this from Rusty. He was hanging around a little bit longer. Falling off that one finally, though. Going a bit more passive in towards Ivy, but he's walking back now, trying to brain on these kids with the sound effects. Just trying to give them a bit of a cue. Say they're not there, but there we go. The timing of the smoke being pulled out. Rusty will take down Zori. That's a 5-on-4 advantage for Sweden. A positive they can finally look at.
Something is better than nothing. Utility now being dropped onto the A bomb site by Finland. They're just waiting for the response, and this is the fate that we've been waiting for, but they're not going to halter. It's going to be both Benji and Hugo holding. Hang on, 3 AWPs. We haven't even talked about this. There is no armor on the 3 players for the Swedes, and we have not even noticed that. What are we seeing right now? It's going to be Zen pushing on out. Hugo's going to fall, but it's Benji that finds the response nice and fast. He finds a second as well as he swings to Oil Train. It's now Sora in a 1 versus 4. The Molotov comes out towards the right-hand side. He's got to find the shots, and he's got to find them fast. He backs away towards the ladder, but that's going to be it. Rusty puts the nail in the coffin. You know what? Just stick to your 3 AWPs, Sweden. Do whatever you've got to do to find these rounds.
4 to 5. This is the closest map we've had so far between these two teams. Back and forth. I think Finland just at the edge right now. 5 rounds in their T-side train. Anything more here, and they've hit a gold mine. Sweden need to lock down the rest of this half. They need to break the bank of Finland first and foremost. Look at the money they've got in reserve. This triple op setup, although it's a bit audacious and it worked for them this time around, now that Finland are aware of it, they can play around it and they can start to... If they win around here, Sweden's got no money, right? Plain and simple.
Just breaks it completely. And the fact that Finland have been, you know, quite stern in the fact that Slowy has been on the op. If he falls early, they've got 2 players that can pick it up. We've seen Zori and Zen both pick up the AWP. Zen found himself a 4K towards Checkers in Cache, so we know that they can make that work. However, the Swedes makes things a little bit harder. Just going to be missing the opening shot there, Benji. And a costly one at that. He backs off the angle. The smoke comes out, and it might just cause a rotate from Zadish, who just falls off the back of Bomb Train on 8. Rather just jiggles. Oh, hang on a second. Zen's out. Oh, I don't think he's been seen. I don't think they know that he's there. Oh no, this could be really devastating if Hugo... literally, Zen just walks out right now. He's got 1 towards Con, and he's got Hugo on top of the blue train. Oh no.
That sound cue's giving it away. They're going to fall back over towards B now. They win that first engagement versus Saw. Sound has to be made now by the players over towards Ivy. But Zen misses initial shots. He will take down Hugo, as he gets dropped down to 1 HP. And a 3v4 now. These triple ops have to try another retake situation. But Twixie's gotten aggressive here. He wants to shut this one down early. Yeah, nice smoke to come out. They knew that he was there. The footsteps were maybe a bit too much from Twixie. So he kind of hedges his bets. Throws the smoke down. Oh, Benji nearly falling in the Molotov. That's not the death you want to see come through. Zen is only on 1 HP. So it'll only take a little hint, a little whiff. And look at this. Opening picks come from Zen, and that is massive. It's actually Slowy and Twixie that support each other. It all fell apart before you could blink again. The snap of a fingers. And Finland somehow, they just keep coming out on top of these rounds. They find their 6th here, which is probably, the plateau. But Sweden don't want to give them anything else here, but that's the money gone, right? That triple op setup, although it worked for them initially, trying to retake a bomb site with 3 ops. After a lot of pressure's been put on the site, Finland's already pushed all the way through to CT spawn. So there's nothing left in the tank. Nothing at all. It's a little bit harsh, if I'm being completely honest, for Sweden. Gas is all but diminished. They're running on fumes at the moment. Even though the scoreline looks close, Finland have been in complete control of this map. That's Benji that's going to find the opening for Zori. Nicely done as well. Rusty on top of Blue Train. Spots one out towards T-Con. Just backs away for a moment, but this player in towards Small Ladder should pretty much be allowed to do as much damage as needed. There's the first pick that we knew were coming. And Rusty, he's going to try and tap. He finds the head, but that's all it's going to be. Finland now with an open A. They've just got to get past Zer. Still across towards Hal. Still do some damage. Hugo just getting some information across towards B, but too little too late, my friend. 1 minute on the clock, and Benji still forward in this position. I don't think he's been spotted as of yet. He's just playing the off angle. He is the queue up towards the top of the train, but Twixie drops back down very quickly, swings in front of him. That's the op dropped, and Hugo left with the CZ75 and a dream, and not all dreams can become a reality, unfortunately, as this 11th round looks to go the way of the finish. Certainly does. Hugo, CZ and Dream. No Kit. There's going to be no Zipex plays today, no Dexter plays today. No cheeky ninjas, no one drinking any sort of energy drink. No buff. No buff. Not this time around. Finland increase that gap that he wants the orb. Righto. They dragged the orb back anyway. They threw it back in with the mine. I think that was a great play by Finland. So Hugo was chasing down that AWP for nothing. Oh, man. You hate to see it.
You
You
do.
love to see it.
You hate to love it, you know?
No, I love that. I hate it.
Oh, fair enough. That's any way that you put it at that point. Oh, look at this from Sweden across towards B. This is a little bit better. A bit of an adjustment, but it's not on a buy round. So, okay, okay, I see you there. That's a little bit cheeky.
EU nades, mate. It's one hell of a drug.
That's God tier.
Look at this push coming in from Hugo from behind, though. He's got the C's in the armor. Looking to just catch out any of these plays in towards T-Com. There's one man still here. Holding the angle, though, so Slowy won't be punished for being aware of any other angle. There's still another player here, though, and he's still waiting for it. That's another man coming just from behind. It is Zagis with the MP9. It's a 4v2. He's fallen off in towards Connector.
The Finnish just read this so well, man.
He's ready to finish him.
They've literally just opened up the book to chapter 7.
Finish him. Walked into it again. I think that's 4 times this weekend.
What were the other 3 times?
Oh, it was a couple of them.
And the bus. Be thrown under it, son. There with the 5-7 is the only man to pull anything from this round. A kill and the save. My goodness. At what point does the soul start to be crushed?
Probably now, to be honest. I feel like down 8-4 on your CT side train, right? You picked this map, but it's not really in your pool, so not really too sure what the go with was that one for the Swedish side. And Finland have looked the goods on it.
Finland have just destroyed them on every map. Finland have destroyed every team on every map. Bar Serbia.
Oh, Serbia. Look at this from Zagis. He loves this XM.
It's a nice XM. The Ziggy.
What a cool name for a skin as well.
Ziggy Zadish. I like that.
That's great.
That's solid.
We'll run into him at the hotel and tell him
Ooh.
that.
Peter leaded, son. He will walk back into the arms of Zori, though. It's not good news for Sweden. But it looks like they are going to stack across to... Oh, no. They decide, no, you know what? We've done this before. We jumped the gun and we were punished for... Oh, my word. Slowy deleting Benji. However, they don't know that this Zur has pushed aggressive towards Olive. Might be able to find a kill, but they back away. Literally everything has gone right for Finland here, and it just continues to do so. The utility is going to come across towards A. They're going to go on towards B. The fake is still selling it, and that's just done and dusted. The round, surely there is nothing left for the CT side to do. At this point, buy Negevs and sit there down B halls.
It's something. You found a change that is something, right? But, I mean, the 8-4 scoreline... It's crucial for the finish right now. I said to you, like, well, during the break, I was like, oh, it's going to be 16-4, right? I feel like Sweden have done a little bit better on this map so far, but that could just be the fact that CT side train is really hard to crack. But Finland have done so time and time again. Is they're going to get their 9th so far, and again, the money, that's the thing that's holding back Sweden right now.
It's just, that's been throughout the matches that we've watched. The Swedes haven't kept their economy in check. They haven't played the money game, you know? They haven't been playing Monopoly. Oh, Zur, man.
You hate that. You really hate that. That's the AWP gone as well. So now just an M4 hell carried over into the next round.
There's no chance, Matty B.
Well, there you go, ladies and gents. Finland finally broke Mr. Optimistic. He's fully turned to the dark side.
I'm broken.
What's your prediction for the whole match, Rob?
No. That's
Go
no
on.
prediction.
Go on, say it.
Sweden, bring it back. Send it to OT. We see 2 more maps. Did I say Finland then? Or
I feel like you said Sweden. I don't know. I can't even tell anymore.
Sweden are going to make it work. Slowy actually gets pushed. This is a little bit nicer from Sweden. Here we go. A little bit of momentum being gained. Oh, my word. You just have that feeling he's still going to hit that shot. You don't doubt it.
You're right. He's been like that so far, like this entire series so far. 9-4 still the score. Going to go back over towards B now. The double back. It's Hugo. He's in behind the coils there, still staying alive. He's got 6 HP. No one's really cleaned him up just yet. He's going to do more damage as well. Both players low, 2v3. And the AK is going to push forward here. There's already an AWP posted up, and I think they might have just seen Zen through the gap in the smoke.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, there you go. Mr. Optimistic lives.
Told you. Sweden are going to come back. They're going to send it to OT. Let's go, Sweden. I know you can hear me. They can feel my good vibes, my optimistic vibes. I promise you. You can do it. The thing is, they've got the players to do it.
They do. They have the talent in the lineup. It's just they haven't fully awakened yet. I mean, Zadis and Rusty, we're seeing glimpses of it now. Benji, 8 and 9. He needs that AWP in his hands, though.
Look, I must admit, it is quite, like, it's been demanding conditions. So, you know, when they've played 2 best of 3s and both have gone to full to the full BO3, they've played 3 maps. You know, it's a little bit draining. And they've played a semi-final this morning. There's a lot that goes around this, so we can't just sit here and go, you know.
Sweden are trash. No, it's a...
Whoa, who said that? Whoa, who said that?
It's been a very long event.
It's been massive for these players. Over 3 days, they've been here for 36 hours. It's a massive event for these guys. And they're not playing the entire time. Of course, they've got breaks in between, but it's just that mental game to stay focused, to stay switched on. So hats off to all the teams that have been able to perform. And it is the last round of the half, and the Swedes definitely need this one. Look at this. A little bit of aggression towards the top, the heaven position. They're going to go out on towards B. They don't know that he's there. Zajdish, this should surely be his round to win. Zen and, oh, he's going to be able to find both players. Shuts the bomb down, and there we go. Zen falls down. 30 seconds left on the clock. Slowy has a hell of a job ahead of him. But I believe, my friend, not that Slowy.
30 seconds.
Slowy's not going to do it. But I believe that Sweden are going to come back.
All right, I was about to say. All right, I could back the Slowy 1v4. He's going to get aggressive in towards SL position. Rusty falls now. 3 players playing close towards the ramp. He wins this. This is something incredibly electric, but no, Benji locks it down. Close range with that AWP. A 6-9 scoreline. A decent recovery from Sweden, but overall not the best of halves.
No, I mean, it's not the greatest take from this, but at the very least, 6 rounds, you got something to work with when you head to T's side. My concern being, like we say, it is heavily CT-sided. How are you going to break through the Finnish side? What can you possibly do at this point?
I think it comes down to getting under their skin from this point on. They need to do something dirty. They need to do something aggressive. They need to do something tilting, right? You know, like you said, maybe the Negevs into Brown Halls, all right? You know, something that's just so stupid and it works and it just frustrates a player.
Just 5 Bisons. Let's do it.
That's gross.
Imagine how tilt that would be.
Just the constant sound of like an airsoft gun just around the map.
The only thing I could think of that would be more tilting than that are 5 dualies. Crab walking to B, winning the round.
It's coming out here from the Finnish side.
Imagine.
I'm imagining it, and I think it's dastardly. Right. Just waiting to get started into the second half, ladies and gents. Shouldn't be too long. Finland currently hold a 9-6 lead coming into their CT half of train, so advantage with them as we can hear players buying in the background. So we'll be jumping into the action in a hot minute.
There we go. Love those ticks. Those gorgeous ticks that we hear. The timer coming down. No dualies, unfortunately. Quite a bit of utility for Sweden to use those. Smoke's going to come across, and that's going to be the same smoke that we saw before. No, it's not. It's actually going to go deep in towards Con. Okay, fair enough. It splits the sights, 1 and 1. Oh, a bit of an encounter across towards B, Ivy area. It's Zajdish that's going to have to try and open it up, but Benji just pours straight on through. They don't realise that there's still one behind him. How do they not know that Zori was there? Saw will surely fall in the smoke. No, he's still alive. And still kicking. 1 player coming from Olive from behind, so that should be the free kill. But look at this, the readjustment from Twixie. Oh, if Saw finds that, you still believe that it might have been able to work. Twixie, if he can find the head of one of these players, he brings it back to a 1v2. It's doable, but no, siree. The Swedes, they go with the pack mentality.
They take both pistols in the map.
Interesting.
That's the start they need. They need to get momentum going. That's the big thing for them going forward. It's going to be crucial now that they don't lose to this force buy from Finland, and it's been one of those events where the force buy has just been coming under everyone's skin.
Oh, Benji. That's not the kind of... Oh, my word. How tilting would that be? 2 nades and a side scout. That's just going to pour the players out a small ladder. And the Finnish side have literally turned into rock on that A site. There's no chance of them moving. They will not be halted. And Zajdish, the grenade might find himself a bit of damage, but no, he actually pushes through to the other side. He's going to have to try and find his way as a Stewie Smoke criminal. No, sir, not today. Completely bouncing back. The Finnish side win the second. And Swedes, unfortunately, have to lick their wounds with a forced buy yet again, Matty.
Well, back and forth so far to start off the second half, you know, around a piece. So you can justify the force buy in this round, right? They've got the smokes and the flashes. They're going to go fast in towards this B site by the looks of it. Just do a very quick execute. Gain control of the map, set up these laneways for their control. But an early Molotov puts a stop to that quite quickly there. So Finland now in prime position to try and hold this one off.
I mean, the fact that they've pretty much kept all their bonus buys. I'll be comfortable. The AK that's picked up on the saw, that will surely annihilate anyone pushing on the B. Swedes decide not to. They pull back out. Start walking towards showers. Need to clean themselves after the first 2 maps. Nade comes down. Zori goes blind for a second. Backs away though, so there's no advantage gained. Just a small HP little buffer for Swedes to play off. It's nothing massive. Still plenty of utility for the Finnish side to use.
Yeah, they've got the smokes, the flashes, and the Molotovs. Just to play around with here as Zen gets one at range as he tries to peek through that upper area of the B bomb site and still playing in towards this SL is alright, and he's waiting to see what the Swedes will do. They're looking to set themselves up now for this late B execute. 30 seconds to go still. There's still a Molotov in the hands of Saw, but he is very deep in the bomb site right now.
A little bit too deep to try and take that fight, and as the smoke comes out to support, unfortunately the rest of the team were blind, so they can't help Zajdish, who falls alone. And look at this push coming through from Zori. He finds one, not the second though. A nice response coming through from Benji. Manages to readjust. Rusty still on site, takes some damage with the scout, looking to try and isolate a 1v1. Not going to happen. It's all onto the MP9 to do some damage. Finds the first. Just walks straight into the line of Slowy though. And again, they still find the round that they need. And upgrade towards the AK and Matty B. 5 rounds in it for the CT side.
5 rounds for Finland to take this championship. 9 rounds for Sweden to take us to map 4.
I believe.
You can keep trying to believe, mate. I can see it in your eyes. You're a little bit stressed.
3-1. I believe Swedes.
Looking for some info is Zen over towards the B side of the map. There's a couple of peeks go the way of Slowy over towards A. He gets aggressive down Ivy. You'll fall away from this one now, and that's a massive advantage gain for Finland early.
It's just pole vaulting them forward at this point. Here goes Ajdish and Zert. They're left to pick up the pieces in what is round 4 of the second half of map 3. I would dare say the last map. If the Swedes can't start to gain a little bit more control of what has been a devastating grand final for them. Just trying to keep it a little bit closer now. Zori on the AWP, but it's Saw that's holding down the line from T-Com. Saw's going to be spotted, can't do anything. Twixie swings wide, but he will be traded out. Hugo with a nice shot. Doesn't make a difference. Saw just swings under both players. See you later. And the round continue to snowball out of control for Sweden. Momentum well and truly back into the Finnish hands.
Yeah, getting a lot of rounds on the trot now, starting to build up their bank as well. Still an MP9 in the hands of Zen. Doesn't want to reinvest too much into this one. As a buy coming in now for the Swedes, although not the best of buys. They still have some utility, but not the AWP. They don't have all the bells and whistles here. As Slowy still aggressive in towards Ivy. Throws another smoke grenade down and waits to see what these players come. Coming through the smoke there. Gets one for himself, trying to pre-fire into the next man. And 2 players left in towards T-Spawn down this back alley. And it's a 5-on-2 already.
I mean, the opening from Zen, oh my God. This guy has been an absolute unit for Finland so far.
I'm in awe.
And he's not slowing down at all. He finds himself to... Oh, imagine if he just waits. He's still going to die, but imagine. Could have been a gamer for a second. Problem being, Zen goes... Zen's on 26 frags. Man, what are you doing? This is absurd. 2 maps in a row.
Zen on LAN. Forehead.
Seriously. This guy is dominating in every facet of the game. He found himself a double kill with an MP9 towards Brown Halls when they had AKs.
That's just the type of player you get when you have Zen. He's got a lot of experience coming out of Finland, and he's played in majors, he's played in big events. So you get what you expect with Zen, and he's certainly proving that here on this stage right now. The 6-round gap for Sweden to work back into. As Saw gets a bit of info on the man playing Peekaboo on the small out of there.
Why is Zajdish always on the shotguns?
I don't know. It's an obsession. It's almost a fetish at this point.
Whatever it may be, they've gone for another low economical buy. Saw backs off the angle as he sees the first, and Molotov comes over to hold them at bay. Back towards the site. 5 players left for both sides, and there's still so much time for the damage to be done. However, 3 smokes for Sweden. You have to start to look at either a fake or a setup. Surely they're going to look to realign towards B. Zen's going to have to try and find both of these players. He didn't realize that one was literally on his shoulder. B hit looks to come in quite shortly as they line those smokes up.
Look at that head. What a head.
What a head.
Good pop flash coming in there. That's great timing there. Zen's going to take down Zerd, trying to walk down the ramp, and all these players should line up for him. He's going to get a bit of damage done. He's not going to pick up all the frags. It's going to go the way of Twixie. And that's just Zadish now, 1v4 with that shotgun we mentioned earlier. The sawn off to be exact. He's going to go bouncing all the way in towards Connector, but Zorre shuts him down as they pick up their 14th, and they are 2 rounds away, Robert. 2 rounds.
I just want to say, Twixie found 3 through the smoke there.
He's an absolute unit.
Twixie's standing in as well. What a beast. What a man, myth, and legend. As the Finnish side inch themselves closer, as you were saying, Matty, to locking down the 10K and that trophy, bragging rights that they are the giants of IeSF. Well and truly showing it. Twixie going to pick up the initial 2. Saw will find Hugo, but he is traded out. Zernau and Benji, both of these players been called upon before, but Zer finds 1. Benji now left to do the damage. Doesn't make a difference. It's all being shut down, Matty B.
1 more Manic Monday, 1 more for Finland to take this championship in a very swift 3-0, and Sweden, they're looking down, they're looking out. The Deagle in the hands of Rusty, 4 acres across the board. They've got 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and Molotov and an HE grenade. What can they do for us right here, right now, up against the Finland powerhouse? 2 AWPs, 3 rifles, all the utilities. They're going to get aggressive in towards Ivy, and Slowy not quite connecting with that shot there. The pop flash will save his teammate, though. He's going to get away with his life.
It might have saved him, but it couldn't save Zori on the other side of the map. Falls down to Hugo, who was holding the line. Benji as well might find a kill, but no Twixie on the pixel angle. Gives him no opportunity. Bit of a slow round from Sweden here. That's Hugo finding the kill. Maybe a light at the end of the tunnel here, Matty.
There's still opportunity to come, Rob. Looks like it's going to be the swift 3-0 regardless, but Twixie on the rotate in towards the ramp. There's 2 players here in the B side. I think Hugo spotted 1 there. He's going to switch out of the angle. Good pick up there now, 4v2. Still being aggressive, though. That's a bit sloppy there. Saw gets an opening. And Rusty here just trying to clear out this pop dog area. 2v3, Slowy and Saw now in the bomb site. Saw gets spotted out. He's tagged down low. He spots the man on top of the trains. 11 HP. He has to hold this one down, but Slowy's there to chime in now. 2v1. Sorry, 2v2. Still staying alive. And the timing there for Saw, but the damage done. And the AWPA falls, and Sweden are staying alive, Rob.
They're holding on. Clenching. Making it work. They push it 1 more round, but it just seems like an inevitable defeat at this point. The quick, clean sweep coming through from Finland. Sometimes it's just the way the cookie crumbles, my friend. It's a tasty cookie for the Finnish side.
A little bit dry if you're a Swedish fan. You know, like when you have a cookie and it's really dry, it just makes you cough a lot?
Nope.
All right.
There we go. Molotov's now going to be holding them at bay. Oh, Rusty goes down. 2 players left, both into T-Con. Zadish and Benji. They're trying to hit the shots, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Still, they come in. A nice shot coming through from Benji. Zen holding on. 4 players left for them to try and make this work. Sweden, they've got to claw this one back. 4 players pushing a little bit more aggressive. Zadish will find the kill on a Twixie. He's looking to push it another round. He's got Benji on the support. The smoke will come out. They now start to make their way out towards the site. Zori and Saw both just playing a little bit more passive. Flash comes over the top, but the flank coming in from behind from Zoe. This could possibly be the nail in the coffin. He looks to pull back out here, Benji, and this will just surely be it. It's going to be Zori to take down Zadish. It's all on to Benji, and this could be the W. He misses the shot, goes back through the smoke, but he will be caught out. Ladies and gentlemen, Finland are going to be your IeSF World Champions for the CSGO tournament. A massive effort coming through from the Finnish side. 3 days of the grueling tournament. So many maps, but what a performance.
They didn't drop a single map on the road to the title. That is absolutely insane with some of the competition they had to play on that right-hand side of the bracket. The Romanians and the Serbians. Now coming up against the Swedes as well. And that is a fantastic result there for Finland.
Mate, it's well deserved. There's no other way to put it. It's well deserved. They've shown well and truly that this is exactly how it was meant to be. Handshakes coming out now from the respective countries. Both fought well through their back brackets. Sweden had a bit more of a challenging task. Finnish were only met by, realistically, Serbia, who put up the fight, but it all comes down to that, Matty B. 1 grand final, a best of 5 and 3 maps is all it took for Finnish to grab themselves 10K and, of course, bragging rights with the trophy.
And that is just one step for them as well with the IeSF World Championships. You know, the more titles that your country wins, the better placings you get, the more points you get. And that goes towards the grand prize shell and that trophy that comes with it as well. So playing for your nation, representing them, and getting the win on behalf of those people is insane and a huge honour for these players.
Yeah, definitely. It's just the opportunity to come here and play. It's a great time here, actually, seeing, you know, like all of the different countries coming together. Some countries here, obviously, without too much of a shot at kind of getting to the quarterfinals, and they still just have fun. They come around, they tap heads. But, you know, you can't take anything away from Sweden. They've made it to the grand final. Probably would have been a bit of a fight, maybe if we'd seen not even a different veto. There's no chance. I can't paint this in a nice picture. Unfortunately, there's no chance for the Swedes in this. We were talking about it before the match. The Finnish side have just looked too strong. Coming into this as well, we know the lineup, we know the players, we knew that this was going to happen. They've been well rehearsed. They've got the coach as well. So, you know, like they've got all the components.
The key to success, right? And they were handed to them for this event in particular. They had a good group to come out of. They had good results with that group as well. I mean, like the hardest opponent they had in that group was Giants, right? The Portuguese powerhouse, and it's just you can't really put anything else against them, right? That's it, right? They breezed through this event.
Yeah, they did what they had to do, and it just seemed like it was business as usual. And that's kind of the performance that we needed to see from one of these sides. We expected it to be from Europe, and obviously, you know, it's kind of shown the full fact of the matter. And unfortunately, sometimes that's what happens when you do get a lot of different countries to come together to play. You do see the EU teams kind of flex a little bit more and bully teams out, because that's what we've realistically seen. 24 rounds is all they lost in 6 maps outside of Serbia. That's absurd, Matty.
It's ridiculous, right? They lost, I think it was a 16-8, that last scoreline. So, they lost 18 rounds across this map. So, I mean, that's probably like the most they've been challenging quite a while for this entire event. So, I mean, credit to Sweden where credit's due. They've had a few really good rounds. They looked decent enough. I think there's a lot they can work on. It's a good international experience for them to come out here to Kaohsiung.
yeah, well, they've enjoyed their time here, and I mean, we've enjoyed our time here, Matty B, haven't we? It's been an absolutely unbelievable experience to come and see a stage like this, be involved in such an event, mate. I think that there's no other way to kind of sum this up than with that. You know, it's unfortunate that the Swedes couldn't do too much in that, but you know, you've got to give your hats off to the Finnish players. You know, especially Slowey on that AWP. I can't stress enough how much of an impact he had in this entire best of 5.
Slowey and Zen were the two standouts there for the Finnish lineup the entirety of the series. Right, Zen dropped borderline 30 kills on I think every map. Right,
yep.
So he was an absolute machine. He was destroying everyone. He was tapping heads across the entire map. Right, and that's what you get with the experienced players. I touched on it a little bit earlier. That level of experience coming into the map, dictating the pace for your side, and taking those duels, and that really allowed them to get going.
Yeah, he was like a rock. You know, every time that we saw multiple frags coming up, it was generally Zen and Slowey. You know, how many times do we see him have to clutch a round out, or possibly even just find the openings? He was managing to make it work. Again, still, like you're saying, the credit is due for, well, you weren't saying that, you were saying credit's due to Finland, but I still think that there are some credits that we can give to Sweden, like Benji on that AWP. He put in quite, you know, he put in work. Unfortunately, it's nowhere near enough. I think that they did, at the very least, start to adapt and start to try and play a little bit of a different game of Counter-Strike, because at one point there, it just looked like Finnish had read everything that they tried to do.
It gets a lot harder as well to get going forward with your start untrained, but here's some of the highlights of today's matches.
真的恭喜芬兰成为我们2018 IeSF 的 CSGO 项目赛的冠军队伍啦！
没错，再次恭喜他们 ，Congratulations！
在广告之后呢，还会有我们的铁拳击赛事，大家不要走开哦。
好，我们先休息一下，精彩赛事马上回来。